very clearly the class of their district this year. They've won their games in this district this year by a combined, let me make sure I get this right, 467 points this year. It's these two and it's everybody else in this district. And tonight, the district title on the line.
As it should be, and I don't think if you went back 6 months ago, you would have even thought that this would be for the district title because of how talented this Lovejoy Leopard squad is, but here we are.
Melissa was very clearly going to be the team that had a chance at taking down Lovejoy. They've got an opportunity to do it tonight. Two of the very best teams across the state in 5A Division II. Officially, Lovejoy 9th in the rankings. Melissa probably just on the outside. I would say maybe 12th or 13th if the poll went that far. If you go by the computer rankings, though, Lovejoy's the #1 team in Texas in 5A Division II, according to Dave Campbell's computer rankings. Melissa is right around 11 or 12 in those computer rankings. So these are two teams that have potential to make a deep run in the state tournament.
No, absolutely. I mean, and even for Melissa, you think about where they came from 4A, now up to 5A, and everyone's thinking that these guys are here for just a drink. They're going to move up here pretty soon simply because of the enrollment. But you know what? Look, these are two teams that you talk about in the state of Texas, very talented, very deep as far as the depth that they have, and so it's only fitting that these two meet here for a district title.
This is a game that matters also for playoff positioning, playoff seeding. Obviously, the winner tonight would take the #1 seed, loser would be the 2 seed. As the 2 seed, the way that the playoff structure would likely shake out, you're talking about playing South Oak Cliff in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not that either of these teams are afraid of playing South Oak Cliff. I think that's a game where they'd be on pretty even footing. That's a really good matchup, I think, for both of these teams. But you'd rather just push that off around if you can. So this game matters on a lot of levels.
Hey, it's a convenient truth. I mean, and if you can avoid that bump in the road, you would. I mean, but you know, look, both of them right now, they just want to come in here and take care of business. This district itself is very competitive. But again, for Melissa, it's not even about saying that they belong. It's about coming in here and winning a district championship for Melissa would be huge.
This game is going to be all about offense. Both offenses are extremely high-powered. Lovejoy averaging 53 points per game. Melissa averaging 46, two of the top 5 offenses from a scoring perspective in 5A D2 in North Texas. If it's going to come down to who can make a stop defensively, it would seem that Melissa might have the slightly better defense of the two.
No, they really do. And I'm telling you, they have a guy up front that is a load, okay? Nigel Smith is the real deal. Every team wants this kid. 6'5", 260 pounds. I don't know where they make these, right? Maybe in the lab, but this is a kid that is huge, and he is one, especially when you talk about those points and you talk about a team that has the better defense, I think you have to give the nod to Melissa.
He's as big as he is and runs a 4.75, 4.8 40. Think about how big this kid is, and he can move as well. Meanwhile, our player to watch for the Lovejoy Leopards, one of 4 extremely gifted wide receivers on this Leopards offense. It's Kyle Parker.
Kyle Parker is amazing. And I'm telling you, if you've looked at this kid's DNA under a microscope, he has little pit bulls and Rottweilers in it. He's a dog, okay? That is who he is, and bona fide. And he is the kind of player that can take over a game. He will make your life a nightmare. And so keep your eyes on #1. #1 in the program and going to be #1 in your heart if you're a Lovejoy fan.
He is on his way to LSU. He had a stat line earlier this year that eye-popping doesn't even do it justice. Against Argyle earlier this season, 23 receptions, 341 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Unbelievable.
Process that in your brain for just a moment. That's insane. That's a month for most wide receivers across North Texas. He did that in one night against the team, by the way, that is #1 in the state rankings in 5A Division II. Just close your eyes and pretend that it's Friday night, because it might as well be all across North Texas. Lovejoy and Melissa for the district title coming up next on Friday Night Football. off a cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
I hope you like offense. This one has the potential to be heavy on points tonight as Lovejoy hosts Melissa in a matchup of two of the best offenses in Texas here on Friday Night Football. Head coaches tonight for Melissa, Matt Nally in his 4th year as Melissa's head coach. For Lovejoy, Chris Ross, his 3rd year as the head man of the Leopards. Melissa won the toss and deferred, so it is Lovejoy football first. Heckma Harrison, buckle in for this one.
No, I'm here for it, okay? We know that this is going to be instant offense for both of these teams, and I think we both are curious which defense is going to stand up. You know, I'm one of those guys. You know how I am, Mike. I'm going to hate on offenses every chance I get. But, you know, with the explosiveness of both of these guys, this is going to be a sight to see.
From his own 22-yard line, here goes Parker Livingstone on the opening kickoff. Across midfield into Melissa territory. Foot race up the far sideline, taken down inside the 10. Lovejoy came to play tonight. Parker Livingstone nearly going the distance, and it's 1st and goal on the first snap from scrimmage.
The absolute first thing that I said to you when he walked out on the field was, look at the size of number 3. What an impressive specimen he is. But then you double down on that by saying, yeah, he has legit speed, and it is on full display right there. Right from the kickoff, Lovejoy Leopards are not going to let up. You could tell these guys came ready for this contest.
Parker Livingstone ran a 21.5 in the 200-meter this past spring. Every bit of that speed on display right there, setting his team up with 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. So here comes Braden Hagel. And in fact, they're going to go Wildcat here with Kyle Parker getting set to take the snap. And it looks like Melissa's going to have to burn a timeout before the first snap of the game. Frustration on the far sideline from defensive coordinator Nate Hemsley, as Lovejoy threw a little wrinkle at them on this first play, and with points only 5 yards away, they had to make sure that they had everything in line, Heckman. They've got to burn a timeout real early on.
And you know what, sometimes what happens is you have a team that comes in, boy, they have the jitters. They're waiting on the other guy to make the tackle. That's what happened on the kickoff. And then right away from their first defensive, when they get on the field, these guys automatically come in and they have a miscue and have to burn a timeout. That is not ideal, but you want to make sure that you get it right.
Out of the timeout, 1st and goal from the 5. It still will be Kyle Parker in the Wildcat quarterback. He's got lead blockers, hops his way over the pile, cut down just shy. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, and you see that wrinkle that they use Kyle Parker in the Wildcat. He's just so special of an athlete. You want to give him an opportunity to just create with the ball in his hands. And Melissa, hey, they are standing up here at the 1-yard line, forcing a 3rd and goal.
And some excitement there from Alex Secreto, the linebacker, coming out of the pile, firing up his sideline. Melissa's defense trying to stand tall here in a very difficult spot. 3 straight snaps of Wildcat quarterback here for Kyle Parker. Lovejoy's going to try it again. Parker trying to get to the outside. This time he gets to the edge. And he's in, just barely geared down there right at the goal line. But he does score. And Lovejoy, just 1 minute and 2 seconds in, is on the board.
I tell you what I'm loving right now automatically. It's just the lights here at Lovejoy after a score and during the introductions. And you're right, he did idle down right at the 1 yard line. So obviously we don't have instant replay, but they're saying that that is a touchdown by Kyle Parker. Way to display your horse right off the top if you're the Leopards.
Caden Carlock punches it through, and it is a lightning fast start for the Lovejoy Leopards. Kyle Parker finishing it off after the kickoff return from Parker Livingstone. And Lovejoy up 7-0 early. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Back on Friday Night Football before the kickoff here. Let's see if we can take one more look at the replay as Kyle Parker made his way to the end zone. Heckma, did he actually get in?
You say geared down. I mean, it did not look as though he got that ball across the goal line, but they give him the touchdown. Benefit of the doubt. Like I said, in high school football, you do not get instant replay, but Kyle Parker, I'm sure they're talking to him about that. Make sure you're sure and get that ball across the goal line.
Jacob Fields was right there on the scene for Melissa's defense, but according to the officials, just a half a beat too late. And it's 7-0 Lovejoy. Now from his own 2-yard line. Here comes Lincoln Dunn on the kickoff return, trying to answer the big kickoff return moments ago from Parker Livingstone. Gets out to his own 27-yard line. And now the Cardinals offense with an opportunity to try to respond.
Yeah, and I'm sure these guys are just thinking to themselves, we just spotted them 7 points right off the bat. That didn't, I mean, obviously takes a minute off of the clock for the Cardinals, but they've got to respond now, giving up that early 7 points.
So Trevor Ham, the starting quarterback, in there in shotgun. Gives the handoff to Nathan Adejokin, makes a nice move to get to the near sideline and turned what could have been no gain into a pickup of, looks like 9 yards.
And you see earlier, Adejokin looks like he's going inside, and he bends it back outside, and that's just good running downhill as he's able to catch the edge and pick up positive yardage.
He'll have the first down here as he gets out to the 40-yard line, a pickup of 4 on the play. So back-to-back rushing attempts for Nate Adejokin, the junior running back.
And for the Cardinals, they're just going to have to play physical, Mike.
Adejokin with the carry once again, spinning his way for 7 or 8 more. We talked with Chris Ross earlier this week. He said they go even faster than we do, snapping the ball, getting right back to the line, and here they come once again. 2nd down and 2. Adejokin with 4 straight carries to open the football game, and he's into Lovejoy territory down to the 45.
And I love these, you know, these offenses that play tempo like this. Boy, it really does make a broadcast go fast, like you're talking fast forward the whole time. So by the time we get a chance to take a break, it's all we can do is take a drink of water.
1st and 10 at the 46. It'll be a handoff this time for Jacob Fields. He'll be in there quite a bit to spell Adejokin, also a key element for the Melissa defense as well. He was the young man that nearly made the stop on Kyle Parker on that 3rd and goal. He gets the carry once again, makes a man miss in the backfield, but then hopping on his back for the ride is Bennett Slaughter. No gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 9.
And that's number 9, Zach Barner, who really disrupted all of that by peeling inside and pretty much just making a stack right there to make these guys try and avoid him.
Trevor Ham had 7 touchdown passes a week ago. Goes to the air for the first time today. Up the near sideline, knocked away. Roderick Mapps there to make the stop as he breaks it up, and it's 4th down.
But we do have a penalty. It looks like it's going to be a hold against the Cardinals.
That was the preliminary signal. Joe Stanley, our referee tonight, looking to the far sideline. Now looking to the near sideline as he recognized he needed to look to the Lovejoy sideline to determine whether they wanted to decline the penalty. It was holding against Trevor Gooseby, number 70. For the Melissa offense, they do indeed decline the penalty. And for the first time today, a punt. I wasn't sure we'd see any of these today, but credit to the Lovejoy defense. They make the stop and force Melissa to kick it away.
And not known for punting are the Cardinals. I mean, they are high octane as well on offense, as you stated, Mike. And so, man, I wonder if they're going to continue with this fast pace or try and get more into their offense as you see the Leopards come after them.
Aiden Pintor with a sky-high punt forces Kyle Parker to call for the fair catch at his own 11-yard line. And back on the field once again comes this Lovejoy Leopards offense. I imagine this time we might actually see Braden Hagel, their starting quarterback, the junior. Couple of touchdown passes a week ago, 24 on the year, as compared to just 3 interceptions. And Heckma, he has an embarrassment of riches at the wide receiver position.
No, he really does, but at the same time, he is the orchestrator of that offense. And the way that he does it, I think it's one of those things when you talk with Coach Ross, he just really glows about him and his ability to engineer drives in this offense.
He'll take off and run with it here on the quarterback draw. Gets sandwiched after a pickup of 5 on the play. We do appreciate you being with us tonight for Friday Night Football, a special Thursday night edition on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, jump into the live chat and let us know where you're watching from tonight, who you're tuning in to see. If you got a favorite team, as that ball's tipped a couple of times and falls harmlessly incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 5. But yes, let us know if you're rooting for one of these two teams in particular, if you've got a favorite player on one of these two teams, and let us know where you're tuning in from tonight. We've had folks watching from all around the country, all over the globe over the course of this season on Friday Night Football. 3rd down and 5, a chance here for Melissa's defense to get off the field perhaps. Showing blitz off the far side. They do send an extra man. Quick throw far side, knocked away, nearly intercepted, but incomplete. Josh Nicholas getting his hands on the football, and it's 4th down.
And you know what? Look at Josh Nicholas. He does not blink. He's over there versus one of the best in the state in Kyle Parker. He reads that perfectly. As, you know, you're looking at Braden Hagel. He's kind of looking that way and giving up where he's going, but you got to credit Nicholas by having the heart to go ahead and break on that play and almost come up with an interception.
So now Lovejoy will have to punt as Melissa comes up with the stop on 3rd down and 5. Wobbly kick up the near sideline. That's going to go out of bounds inside the 40, I believe inside the 35. They're going to mark it right at the 35. It goes sideways off the foot of Caden Carlock, and it's going to be fantastic field position here for Melissa.
Oh, and that was ugly as soon as it came off of the foot of Carlock. And I'm sure he is pounding himself in the chest about that kick because that is giving the Cardinals excellent field position. Right now, this Cardinals offense has just got to calm down. I don't think that we knew that either of these teams had a punter, and here we are just discovering this together, Mike Leslie.
1st and 10 from the 35. Adejokum with the handoff, and in the backfield immediately is Zach Bonner. 2nd time we've called his name tonight. He's had a nice start to this football game.
No, he really has. I mean, again, earlier he is biting down inside and creating that pile, and he's just continuing to be aggressive from the outside linebacker position.
To the air now, good block on the far side, fires that way, complete. Javen Smith with the reception. 1st down and then some, breaking tackles inside the 10. What a fight from Javen Smith after the catch.
And number 15, and that's Aaron Marshall, breaks on that. He has an interception in his hands, and I don't know how he didn't come down with that.
Instead, Smith on the reception, and it's 1st and goal. Handoff here for Fields, trying to break free. Really a good fight, honestly, to even get a couple yards out of that as he had a man on his back from the jump. It was Nick Perez.
And I'm telling you, this is a war up front between the Cardinals and Leopards' offensive defensive line.
Quick throw near side, back corner of the end zone, caught, touchdown. Carson Maynard silencing the crowd.
What a dot. Look at this pass. I mean, he is going to that corner route, and he puts this thing on the money. That is an awesome pass, and like you said, he automatically puts his finger to his face mask to say, silence.
Carson Maynard with his 13th touchdown reception of the year. And Melissa an extra point away from knotting this thing up as Aiden Pintor comes on to add one more. Extra point up and through, knotted up at 7 apiece. Carson Maynard earlier this year had the #1 play on ESPN SportsCenter Top 10. This one, not as tough a catch, right in the breadbasket. 7-7 early first.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Back in Lucas, Texas, 7-7. Touchdown from each team in the opening 4 minutes and 38 seconds, and the track meet is already underway between Lovejoy and Melissa. Fielded on the hop right at the goal line by Jackson Lavender, trying to follow his own teammate and doing quite a good job of recreating an excellent return from Parker Livingstone on the opening kickoff. He gets taken down at his own 25, but did some good work just to get to there.
I'm telling you, these return guys right now for the Leopards, you know, this is a 4x100 track team out here. You can tell the speed and quickness immediately just opening up with Parker Livingstone and his ability to break them off, you know, and then you come with Jackson Lavender, and we still haven't had an opportunity to call Kyle Parker's name, and we know he's a burner.
So back comes Lovejoy's offense. Hagel in there in shotgun. Shout out to Karen Sparks in the YouTube comments, a very good friend of the program here. Karen, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. 1st and 10, handoff right up the middle for Matthew Maynard. Knifes his way for 8. Minister Theo says he's watching from Carver Ranches, Florida. Watching Lovejoy's number 11, Dalen McCutcheon, one of their 4 stud wide receivers. 2nd down and 2. Hagel forced to the far side, flag behind the play. That's in the neighborhood of a hold.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to catch maybe Noah Gardner on the hold, or maybe it was inside, but you saw it come out pretty fast.
He was working against Jackson Ford, the stud defensive end for the Melissa Cardinals. Indeed, Noah Gardner, number 75, called for the hold. That'll turn what was a very manageable 2nd and 2 into now 2nd down and a dozen. Stephanie Alford says watching from Fredericksburg, Texas tonight, cheering for the Leopards, in particular number 61, Samuel Reynolds. That's their starting center.
Big Sam, 6'2", 270.
Kid who's playing at a really high level this year, according to their head coach, Chris Ross. They've really liked what he's done, and he's kind of taken on a bit of a leadership role as well for that offensive front. 2nd down and 12 now. Hagel with 4 wide receivers. Hands off for Maynard right up the middle. Into the pile, spun down after a gain of 3.
And I'm glad she points that out, because Sam Reynolds, they have him listed as a center, but he's playing right guard tonight. So a little bit of a new wrinkle in the offensive line for Coach Ross.
Yes, indeed. They have, instead of Reynolds playing center, Steve Kapp in there at the center position. Officially a gain of 2 there on 2nd and 12, so 3rd and 10. They've got to get right to the 36-yard line to pick up a 1st down. 3 wide to the top of the formation here for Hagel. Fakes the handoff to Maynard. Looking far side, wide open is Kyle Parker. Makes a man miss up the sideline. He's got the 1st down and then some, out of bounds at the 45.
And that's the kind of respect that you have to give Kyle Parker. You see the Cardinals defense pre-snap back all the way out in order to give Kyle Parker enough room to operate that out route to pick up the first down at the sticks.
Another quarterback draw here for Hagel. Earns a couple of yards. Shout out to Michael Hall in the YouTube comments. A regular viewer here on Friday Night Football. Says he's in Midlothian tonight for Red Oak and Midlothian. That's a district title game as well.
Oh, no, that's a good one.
That one's a good one. Midlothian Heritage Everman's a good one tonight. This one's for a district title. There's good football games all over North Texas tonight. A lot of games moved from Friday to Thursday as Maynard carries and gets close to first down yardage. It'll be 3rd and a yard here. With the incoming weather tomorrow, a lot of schools deciding to change things up and play on a Thursday night. Maynard will have enough to move the chains, a pickup of 2.
And they're doing a good job so far over on that right side of trying to wall off Nigel Smith. You know, you've got to get a hat on a guy that big, and he's so disruptive, especially in those short yardage situations.
Hagel, far side, open on the sideline again is Kyle Parker. He'll have enough for the first down once again. A very nice start to the evening for Kyle Parker.
No, and it really is just the respect that they give him. Look at once he's in the area, there's not a guy around him for about 3 yards. They have to respect his speed and just how shifty he is once he catches the ball. That's where he's most dangerous, is after the catch.
They didn't initially give him the first down. Now they're assessing a penalty that we never had announced. And it appears to be of the 15-yard variety. We never got a signal there from Joe Stanley what the flag was, but it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Maynard cycles behind Hagel, 2 wides to either side for the junior quarterback. Quick throw near side, end zone, jump ball.
That's so pretty.
Hauled in for the touchdown by Parker Livingstone. Says, I'm bigger than you. Touchdown, Leopards.
I didn't mean to interrupt your call there, but I'm saying that was so pretty. That is amazing. That's just saying you're small. I'm going to go up over the top of you, and you better do something to stop me, and you can't. Parker Livingstone is dominating this game. Beautiful catch.
The kickoff return that set up the early touchdown, now the touchdown reception. And the Lovejoy Leopards with a 14-7 lead. It's just going to be like this all night, folks. Just buckle in and get ready for it. Up and down the field they will go. Lovejoy with the early edge, 14-7 on Melissa.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Back on Friday Night Football, another check of the comments here on the WFAA YouTube channel. Michelle Howard says to her kids, she's Miss Howard, watching from home to cheer on all her senior boys. Says, go Cards, a Melissa fan in the comments. Charles says he's watching from Prosper. He says he used to coach Kyle Parker his freshman year. As Lovejoy gets set to kick it away once again, Carlock sends it to the 12-yard line. Jacob Fields on the return, trying to break a tackle, will not. Colin Williams with a fantastic special teams play.
That is how you make a play on the kickoff team. You want to know how to get playing time? You close in like that. That is excellent. That's how you track a guy on the kickoff, staying in your lane, keeping your contained. That is an excellent job by number 8.
So 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line now for Melissa. We saw them score on the short field as Ham hit Maynard for the opening score for the Cardinals tonight. That was on just a 35-yard drive as the punt set them up with great field position. This time, a much farther journey in front of them. Handoff at Ajokin on the first play. He'll pick his way for 3 or 4.
And you can tell, Mike, there's a difference in philosophy between the Cardinals and the Leopards. The Cardinals are going to try and pick up this running game, okay? They want to get you off balance by having you peek into the backfield and try and hit you over the top with something big. Ham, obviously, there had favorable field position on the last touchdown drive, but they're going to have to go almost the length of the field to score as there's a penalty.
It's going to get harder now as the ball starts. Is going to dock them 5 yards. Joe Stanley, the referee tonight, part of a 7-man crew out of the Dallas Football Officials Association. John Albert, his umpire tonight. 2nd down and 12 after the false start. Ham with a straight drop, pressure in his face, setting up the screen. Adejokin with a lot of blockers and a lot of grass in front of him. Up the far sideline, big stiff arm, and across the 35 he goes. Banged down by Zach Bonner, but a big pickup there on 2nd and long.
You look at this stiff arm. I mean, Adejokin, this is he almost lifts him to the track. That's a guy that's not missing deadlifts at all.
Quick throw near side, complete in the arms of Carson Maynard. Well, a hesitation move, and across midfield he goes, cut down by Gabe Joyner, but another 1st down for the Cardinals.
Wow. I used to stiff arm like that back in the day. I used to do that.
Yeah?
No.
Yeah? No, I didn't think so. Maybe you got stiff armed like that a time or two.
Never happened, Mike. God, Nate Adejokin is doing work in Lucas, Texas.
He got the carry again there, this time just a yard to speak of. David Smith says he's watching from Anna, Texas tonight. Shelly Everhart says, way to go, Carson Maynard, number 9. Aunt Shell and Cousin Nolan are cheering from Florida, she says. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. 2nd down and 9. Fields in there at running back to the right of Ham. Quick throw near side, just beyond the grasp of Javen Smith, and incomplete.
I love the way that they're mixing up these routes. And like I said, Mike, they're mixing in this run pretty well. But they're taking what this defense is giving them. They're playing quarter coverage on the back half. And for a lot of quarterbacks, man, you've got to be spot on and put that ball into a tight window. Trevor Ham is going to have to come up big.
3rd and 9, Ham chased from behind, fires over the middle, it's intercepted. Picked off by R.J. McIntosh, the sophomore.
Well, that's great coverage. Like I said, he's trying to throw out of this cover 2, and only thing that happened is Lincoln Dunn. He slips down on the route. He thought he was interfered with. He's looking for a flag, but he doesn't get it as R.J. McIntosh comes up with the interception.
So Lovejoy's defense stepping up here in the early going, forcing a punt early on, now the interception, and giving their offense an opportunity to get the football back. Whitney Johnson in the YouTube comments says she's watching from Fort Worth, cheering for Nigel Smith, the big junior defensive end from Melissa. A lot of confusion here prior to the snap, and they're going to stop the play.
Everybody's rooting for Nigel Smith, okay? We're all Nigel Smith fans.
Beg your pardon, they didn't stop the play. It was Kyle Parker that slipped down. It was such an awkward, I thought they must have stopped the play, but instead, no, it's a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down and 14. Jamison Sterrett, watching from Crandall tonight, says he's ready to see who the district champ will be. Crandall, of course, part of this District 7-5A D2. Into the pile goes Maynard, but nowhere to go.
And I'm telling you, these two defensive and offensive lines have been battling. You see at the point of attack, they're doing a wonderful job. Offensively, man, they're driving these guys back. Nigel Smith gets pushed off the ball as they have him lined up now at the 1 technique. That's when you know you have a player, a guy that can go all the way out from the edge and then move back inside.
Nigel Smith, a 4-star prospect with 34 scholarship offers. Lance Riley, though, making that play there, setting up 3rd down and a baker's dozen. Play action fake, throw coming near side. Nobody home. Some miscommunication there between Hagel and his intended target. And it's going to be 4th down.
No, that's Jackson Ford absolutely being disruptive and forcing Braden Hagel into a bad throw. It's a great job by the Cardinals defense forcing the 3 and out.
So the defense is Heckma early on in this football game, stepping up and making some plays. We've seen the offense have success, obviously already 21 points on the board in a little over 10 minutes worth of time. But the defense is saying, hey, we're here to play too.
Bet you didn't think you'd say that tonight.
Nearly a blocked punt there, but a sky-high wobbler up the near side. Fair catch called for and made by Gunnar Wilson. I beg your pardon, Jacob Fields on the fair catch. And Melissa will take over from their own 39.
Yeah, if I'm Melissa right now, they have the right formula. You know, stay with this running game. Nate Adejokun is doing a wonderful job on the ground. You know, they're mixing in the run and the pass pretty well, but at the same time, you don't want this thing to get out of control because you know how fast that the Leopards can score. So right now, they're comfortable in this first quarter, but they've got to try and, you know, keep track because this is going to be a scoring affair.
This time, Ham's going to keep it himself, trying to get to the sideline. Will not. Not before getting ridden out of bounds by Zach Bonner, and it's going to be a loss of 2.
I thought he got back to the line of scrimmage, but you're right. That is a loss of 2. He tried his best to get back to the line of scrimmage. These guys are really fast up front for the Leopards.
Quick throw far side. Maynard able to get his hands underneath it and then picks up a decent chunk of it. He's going to set up a 3rd and much more manageable, maybe 2 yards to gain.
Man, look at him. He had to scoop this thing out of the ground. Maynard obviously works part-time at Brahms to be able to scoop that out, man. That's a great catch.
3rd down and 2. Handoff at Adejokun. Lowers his shoulder and lunges forward for the 1st down right at the midfield stripe.
Yeah, a lot of people going to be taking ice baths after this game. Look at Adejokun. He does not know going back, so just a tough runner with a pogo stick for a stiff arm.
1st and 10 right at midfield. 3 wide receivers near side. Adejokun makes a man miss in the hole, but can't gain more than about 1.5 yards. We were told right before kickoff of this football game, Heckma, that Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian expected in the house tonight. Watching some pretty significant talent on the field on both sides.
Oh man, he's got to be excited about every athlete that's out here, man, because we have a ton of them. You know, we only get so many players to watch in the first to talk about at the beginning of this game, but we could have picked about 15 guys to talk about.
There are tons of athletes on the football field. So far through 12 minutes of action for those athletes, 14-7, the lead for Melissa as we head to the 2nd on Friday Night Football.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Back in Lucas, Texas, the Melissa Cardinals and the Lovejoy Leopards with the District 7-5A Division II title on the line tonight. 2 teams that both have 6-0 records within district thus far. 6-0 records, Heckma, by pretty much blowing out just about everybody they've played this season within district. This is the game everybody's been pointing to all season long.
And I wish everyone could have been a pivot to the conversations that we've been having about how this matchup is going to go. So far, I think it's going your way, the way that you pointed out, the way this competition would go.
Handoff here for Jacob Fields. Picks up about 6 on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Matt Nally was very complimentary of Jacob Fields. Says he may be our best all-around football fielder. The impact he can make on the offensive side of the ball. He said he's like 11 yards every time he touches the football. Quick throw near side. Complete. Javon Smith. He's got the 1st down. And they're down to the 34-yard line. And then, of course, what he does defensively is very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? they have great balance, especially between these two running backs. So I think that's the one thing that I can point to when I look at both of them on the field. Adejoku just doesn't go backwards. Well, as I say that, Fields doesn't either.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play to evade what should have been about a yard loss. He was head up with nobody in the way, and he was able to get away from Bennett Slaughter, at least a little bit. Slaughter hung on for the ride, but not before Fields was able to pick up maybe 3 yards more than he should have. We'll give it to Fields once again. Beg your pardon. It's going to be Ham to keep it. Nowhere to go. They had some miscommunication there. I think that Carson Maynard thought that it was going to be a run play. Both these teams do like to employ the RPO, and it can be incredibly dangerous, but it also sometimes can lead to miscommunication.
And it also sometimes can be very magical because you don't know where the ball is. So you're trying to figure out who has it, who doesn't.
3rd down and 8. Ham looking far side. Single coverage. Incomplete. Underthrew his target. There, step for step, was Aaron Marshall.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, Ham had time. All he needed to do was just wait on Aaron Marshall to come open as he had a step on the outside.
4th down and 8 yards to go. They've got to get to the 24-yard line, kind of no man's land here, and they will indeed go for it.
Wow.
2 wide receivers to the top of the formation here for Ham. Pressure from Lovejoy over the middle, complete, 1st down, and breaking away inside the 10-yard line, lowering his shoulder to the 5. 1st and goal for Melissa. Gunnar Wilson with a huge play.
Look at Gunnar Wilson finding his way from the H-back position into the middle of this cover 2. That's what you want to do, man. That's the only way to break this down. Find those little soft areas in the coverage, and Gunnar Wilson did exactly that. And not only does he pick up the 1st down, he picks up positive yardage after that.
Down inside the 5, about the 4.5-yard line. 1st and goal here for Trevor Ham. Handoff at Adejoku, right up the middle to the end zone. Touchdown, Melissa.
Man, when you're good, you're just good. Because Nate Adejoku does a little hezzy step, and the hole was just so big. That was able to give him that split second and still go through untouched.
And now Melissa an extra point away from tying this thing up once again. They do go swinging gate, but they line up for Aiden Pintor, the senior kicker. Carson Maynard, the junior wide receiver, the holder for the Cardinals. Slipped as he tried to kick it, and it's no good. Pintor lost his footing, and it will stay 14-13 as the extra point goes underneath the crossbar. No good. That may prove to be an important point as we press forward here on Friday Night Football. 14-13, Lovejoy, early second.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
Four touchdowns in 13 minutes and 33 seconds. Maybe not the blistering pace that we expected, but they're cooking.
No, they are cooking. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of seasoning being put in those pots right now, Mike. And you know what I think the surprising thing is just the pace of this game is slowed down. And I think that's all because of the way Melissa has approached this. They've gone more with the running game. And you know what the running game does is it cools off an offense. It keeps your best players on the sideline sipping Gatorade. And I think that's working to their advantage.
Here comes the kickoff return team once again from Lovejoy, but this time Jackson Lavender snowed under at the 23-yard line. Good coverage from Melissa's Jason Cave. Comment in the YouTube feed from Sal DeBabne, who says he's watching from Las Vegas tonight, cheering on Melissa and number 16, Dalton DeBabne, who just moved up to varsity 2 weeks ago, he says. We appreciate you tuning in. Glinda A says, proud grandparents Don and Glinda Atwell from Fort Worth cheering on Nigel Smith of Melissa. She says, go Cardinals.
I love this, man. We got family members. We got people in Vegas. This is awesome, man.
1st and 10, a little razzle-dazzle here coming near side as Jackson Lavender cuts upfield to the 30-yard line, a gain of 6.
And just look at the speed of Lavender, able to get on the outside. He has some really good blocking. You know, you can say whatever you want to about Kyle Parker as being a speedster and playmaker. He's a pretty good blocker, too.
Yeah. 2nd down and 4. 5 wide receiver set here for Hagel. Goes on the quarterback draw and ripped to the ground by Nigel Smith.
Oh, my God, Mama, there goes that man. You may not want to take too many of those, Brayton. Whew. Man.
Connor Vidmar's leg was right there, and somehow he managed to get it out of the way just in time. Otherwise, his head may have collided right into his leg. Handoff here for Maynard. Chase from behind, and Caleb Otluski with the tackle for a loss. It's going to be 4th down and 5.
How about that for a defensive stand? And you know what? Look, I thought they were going to go for it. I'm like, whoa. Hey, Coach Ross needs a wheelbarrow to carry those things. He's going for it on the 30-yard line.
Cleve Hardman in the YouTube comments says that SMU head coach Rhett Lashley is here tonight as well doing some recruiting. Matter of fact, I think I see that may be him at the 16-yard line on our right side. We'll see if we can get a shot for him here after the punt. 4th and 4, and Lovejoy has to punt once again. There's a sentence I really didn't think I was going to say tonight. Spiraling kick high into the Lucas Knight, and that's going to take a great Lovejoy bounce inside the 20 and be down at the 15. What a job by Caden Carlock to flip the field.
Yeah, we had not talked none about the punting special teams because we really legitimately did not think that we'd have a night where we're going back and forth with punts. And here we are. I mean, this defense right now for the Cardinals, as we said in the open, we felt like they were the better of these two squads. And so that drive right there, taking them to 3 and out, I think proves our point in saying that, yeah, this Cardinals defense is pretty good.
There you just saw Rhett Lashley on your screen here tonight to do a little recruiting. 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line for Trevor Hammond. Melissa sets up the screen again, and here comes Adejoken. Blockers out in front, trying to show off the speed. Taken down at the 32-yard line, but not before a pickup of 17.
They are setting this screenplay up perfectly because this Leopards defense is so aggressive up front. And when they get inside, Ham is just timing them up perfectly to get this out to Adejoken. I think this is the 2nd time that they've ran this and picked up more than 15 yards. Right now, if you're the defensive coordinator, you're saying to yourself, like, look, guys, if you find yourself unblocked, stop, turn around. You got a screen coming behind you.
Timeout called by Chris Ross from Lovejoy. Their first timeout taken here in the second half. Really, for the first time in this football game, now it's Lovejoy that feels like is a little bit on tilt.
Yeah.
They had kind of had even though it was very even so far, it had felt like Lovejoy was more in control. Now that feels like it's shifted at least a little bit.
Yeah, the chess match, I'm loving this between these two offensive and defensive coordinators. They're going back and forth and testing one another on the outside. Right now, if you're the Leopards, they've just got to get something going again on offense as they pretty much dominated the first quarter.
1st and 10, handoff at Adejoken. No hole, cycles back though, and he's going to be able to pick up about 3 on the play.
And that's the thing about Adejoken that you love. As soon as he runs into a brick wall, runs into the back of his own guy, Jake Brown, but still finds a way to bounce that outside and pick up about 4 yards. It's a great running back.
They'll give it to him once again, hopping his way through the hole. Good jump cut out to the 39, another 4-yard chunk on the play.
And again, all that does as an offense, when you're taking this much time running the ball, you keep these guys, this offense, on the sideline. They're not going as fast as they were before. You see them, they're slowing it down a little bit.
3rd down and 3. They've got to get to the 42 for a first down. They've got Jackson Ford in there He plays some tight end as well as some defensive end. They're going to cycle him down the near side. 4 wide receiver set to the bottom, 1 to the top. Empty set, flag on the play. And I think it's going to be an illegal formation here against Melissa. Matt Nally trying to plead his case on the far side, but it will be a legal procedure.
Ford is absolutely huge, so I don't know. If this is like a billboard running down the field. Guy that size wearing number 5. I mean,
6'6", 235 pounds. But now 3rd and 8 after the penalty. Ham looking near side. Firing behind the defense is Maynard, can't make the diving catch. Gabe Joyner there in coverage, and it's 4th down.
Oh, that's a ball that I know Trevor Ham wants that one back because he had Maynard wide open as he lost his defender. Gabe Joyner really got lucky right on that play.
Maynard had a step, maybe a step and a half on him. But instead, the stop, and Pintor on to punt once again. Line drive, end over end punt, checks up at the 36-yard line, and Caleb Otluski will down it right there.
Now I said last out for the Leopards, they've got to get back in some type of rhythm on offense. Doesn't look like they have the ability. I mean, look, every drive that they've gone on so far has stalled out, and it's just been due to them not being able to convert on 3rd down. This has become a situation for them. So it's going to be really important right now with 7:41 here in the second. The offense seems to have gone a little dry. They've got to pick it back up to try and put some points on the board.
So Hagel with 1st and 10 from his own 35. Coming near side is Maynard, big hole. Maynard loses the football. Loose on the deck, but scooped up by Kyle Parker. And Parker has the speed to take it the distance. Sometimes better lucky than good. The fumble by Maynard, but Parker right there to scoop it up and score.
Hey, we're going to call him Mr. Johnny on the spot because this is exactly what that is. With Kyle Parker, he's like, look at what I found. And that doesn't get any easier than that if you're Kyle Parker. Like you said, better to be lucky than good. And, yeah, he's got his hands on his hips, but he's saying, oh, man, I just made off with one.
Wow. That is, sometimes you get the breaks. Credit to Melissa's, it couldn't have been Trevor Ham, that's their quarterback. Maybe it was Jacob Fields, number 8, that reached in and forced the fumble. Oh, no, it was Jason Cave, their middle linebacker. He reached in and forced the fumble there on Maynard. But it bounced right into the waiting arms of Kyle Parker and his ridiculous speed. He takes it to the house, and Lovejoy's on the board once again. Carlock on for the PAT. 21-13. Lovejoy with the lead. 7:31 to play here in quarter number 2. And what a fortunate break this was for the Leopards. From Maynard to the deck, 3 bounces, and Kyle Parker says, thank you very much. 21-13. Lovejoy with the lead. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reese. Back in Lucas, Texas, 21-13. Our tally right now as we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Mike Leslie, Heckma Harrison here with you. This has been an exciting game thus far, and Kyle Parker happy to oblige in finding the end zone on that last play.
Hey, that's what they call a scoop and score. It usually happens for defense, not offense.
Pretty incredible play. And again, sometimes better lucky than good, but in that circumstance, I think a little bit of both. Lucky bounce, but then the speed from Parker to take it the distance and give Lovejoy this 21-13 lead. Now to kick it away. Kickoff goes through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback, and out comes the Melissa offense.
Yeah, we asked for this, man, and we have got ourselves quite a ball game to start. I don't know, Mike. I really just have to keep asking myself, when are the Leopards going to take over? We've been waiting on them to do that. So far, this has been really a back-and-forth affair.
Bradley Granger in the YouTube comments says, Brad and Lee Ann Granger cheering for Lovejoy's Nick Perez from Springfield, Missouri. Says, go Big Nick. 918 Don says, Kyle Parker, the GOAT. 1st and 10, Ham to the air. Pressure, trying to get away. He does get away. What a play by Trevor Ham. Fires downfield. Had a joke and nearly made the diving catch as Slaughter was there in coverage. All of that, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Trevor Ham, he is Harry Houdini right here because he has 2 guys draped all over him, still with the ability to keep his eyes up the field. Maybe if he had kept that and kept running, maybe he gets positive yardage.
Will Brown had a chance at him. West Wilson had a chance at him. Instead, no gain. Now Adejoken lowers his shoulder and goes right through the chest of Bennett Slaughter and picks up 3. It'll be 3rd and 7.
But here's a crucial 3rd down. This is a crucial 3rd down right now for this Cardinals offense. They've got to try and figure out a way to pick up this 1st down and obviously give their defense some reprieve, and they got it.
They've got the 1st down and then some as Javen Smith breaks a tackle and gets out to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, you see this. This is a great throw by Trevor Ham. Way to respond from the junior quarterback. Just 6 foot, 175 pounds, but his ball has some zip on it.
They like that play in make-or-break situations. The quick throw to the near side to the slot receiver. Now Adejoken on the run. Across midfield and a pickup of 9. Maybe 10 in the 1st down. Yes, indeed.
Mike, let me tell you something. Adejoken right now has been just putting these little small deposits in. Those little tough run deposits. What you start seeing from this defense is they don't want any of it. And I think they caught him trying to make a substitution, and they're going to get a free play and positive yardage.
Jacob Cusano on the receiving end. Picks up 9 on the play. I beg your pardon, 8. They'll mark it right at the 40-yard stripe. Looks like Melissa may be content to take the result of the play and take 2nd and 2 instead of 1st and 5.
Tell you what, I am loving the scheme from Matt Nally right now. He is countering everything that Ross does. If he catches them, he makes them pay for it.
Still some discussion amongst our officials, but the far side line judge David Anderson making it clear that Melissa wants to decline the penalty. So as you called it, Heckma Harrison, an illegal substitution there against the Lovejoy defense. But Melissa elects to take the result of the play in 2nd down and 2 right here at the 40-yard line. So back to the action now. Ham in shotgun once again. Adejoken to his right. 3 wide receivers set near side. Quick throw. Carson Maynard's got a blocker in front of him. Maynard's got the 1st down. Stutter steps across the 30 and down to the 26.
Again, that's just like a long running play. When you get it out to the outside for Maynard, he's 6'4", 175 pounds. He's a big target for Trevor Ham. That's a great pickup, and again, they're just tallying up these 1st downs.
Ham's going to keep it himself, going to follow Jacob Fields. What a block from Jacob Fields to get him to the edge. Across the 15, inside the 10. Ham diving for the pylon. No signal yet. Looks like he's going to be just short. I think he may have stepped out of bounds at the 5 is going to be the spot.
Look at number 8, Jacob Fields, on this play. Boom! He is knocking guys over with that block, and then he looks for somebody else. You love to see that.
Now quick handoff for Fields. They tried to reward him, and he slips down there on 1st and goal from the 5.
That's the third time that I've seen a guy slip on this field.
Yes.
I don't know. It's not wet, but again, we saw earlier Kyle Parker fall down on the reverse, and now twice down here on this end for the kick. And that run right there for Jacob Fields. But boy, I can't tell you enough about that blocking job that he just did.
Now 2nd and goal from the 8 after the slip. Pressure, end zone, double coverage, and it's picked off. Intercepted in the end zone, the 2nd pick of the day. This time it's Roderick Mapps with the interception.
And Roderick Mapps reads that perfectly. He's backing all the way out, and I think he fooled Trevor Ham on that play because Ham didn't realize he had a guy backing up to his zone. Pretty much puts the lollipop out there, and there goes Mapps with an interception.
The double coverage thrown into there by Ham, and Roderick Mapps disguising the coverage makes it pay off. And a huge stop for this Lovejoy defense.
No, it really was.
After what was a great drive from Melissa.
Now defense has to get out here and with 5:17 in the 2nd quarter and try and get this ball back.
Quick throw near side, nearly intercepted. Now the ball is on the deck. Scooped up. I think they're going to say that Jackson Lavender, when he recovered it, was down. You see coming out of the pile with the football was Alex Secreto. Get another look at this as Parker was the receiver. Popped out on the hit from Jacob Fields, who's been everywhere tonight. And then Lavender with the recovery. Man, I don't know how long he actually had that football. But they say he recovered it and was down, so it's 2nd and 12. Handoff here for Maynard into the pile, nowhere to go. Nigel Smith among the many white jerseys in the middle. Secreto in there as well. And it's going to be 3rd and long.
Alex Secreto, man, they have him at the bandit position, and he is just that. He is a bandit. I don't know how they, ruled that down, but that looked like a turnover. But they have forced the 3rd down.
Motion man is Lavender. Quick throw up the seam. Nobody home. Kyle Parker cut his route off. And McCutcheon was further up the seam, further to the middle of the field. That ball kind of ended up in no man's land. So a really important 3 and out created by the Melissa defense.
No, and we said it right there, man. When that was that turnover by Ham in the end zone, when your defense comes back out and they reward you like that, by going and forcing a 3 and out. You've got to love that if you're the Cardinals. They're in this football game. They've had some self-inflicted wounds that they had. They've had some turnovers, the ball hitting the ground and them not able to get the interception.
That is going to be a flag on Melissa, though, as crashing into the Lovejoy punter is Melissa's Alex Secreto. We've seen him fired up in the recent moments about the fumble, about a big play in the interior, and this time he goes slamming into Caden Carlock. It's going to depend on whether this is a roughing or running into. If it were running into, it would still be 4th down.
Well, we see the offense back out on the field.
It was quite a bit of contact. I feel like it's certainly in the neighborhood of roughing the kicker.
No, they're going to call it. It's going to give it a 4th down.
They're going to say running into here, huh?
Yes.
So I guess the fact that Secreto did kind of hold, like he crashed into him but held up. But now the offense is still on the field. They're going to make it 4th and 6, and is Lovejoy going to go for it? Or are they going to walk off a 15-yard penalty? We'll see if we get some clarity here from Joe Stanley momentarily.
No, they're going to call a 1st down. No.
5-yard penalty assessed at the end of the punt, so it will not be roughing. It's running into the kicker. That is a key differentiation right there. So credit to Secreto, who at least you could see in his body language and everything about the moment that he realized what he was doing and tried to hang up. And that at least avoided the 15-yard roughing the kicker, which would have given Lovejoy a free 1st down there.
Yeah, he didn't want that. I mean, and You know what? I tell you what, the Coach Ross is going to talk to his punter and tell him, hey, man, you got to sell that, all right? You get ran into like you got to, lay down on the ground as though you are dying, all right? You only got to sell that a little bit better than you did.
Yeah, Mitch Perry in the YouTube comments agreeing with the officials, saying that should have been a running into the kicker. That is ultimately the ruling, so the 5-yard penalty will put the football at the 42-yard line now for Trevor Ham and the Cardinals offense, and 1st and 10. Adejoken and Wilson motion down to the formation. Handoff Adejoken right up the middle. The ball came out. Recovered by Lovejoy. It certainly appeared. Umpires in there trying to sort it all out. Ooh. Still waiting. Adejoken came out of the pile with it. He was ready to signal Lovejoy football. You could see the body language of John Albert. Oof. Somehow Adejoken got back on that football. No gain on that carry, though, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
How he got that ball back is going to be a mystery.
I have no idea. But our umpire tonight, John Albert, was ready to signal Lovejoy football, and then he kind of hung up and looked at it. Oh, wow, wait, never mind. 21's got the football. 3rd and 8. Ham spins the football, rolling near side, fires downfield, tipped, nearly picked off, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Gabe Joyner. It was nearly a 3rd interception today for the Leopards.
And I tell you, the Cardinals right now, this offense, they're trying to get back in some type of rhythm. There's a flag. I don't know what happened, if this is a holding penalty or what. But
Joe Stanley having a conversation.
Yeah, but this is one of those situations for Trevor Ham where he's just got to get back in rhythm. They went more up-tempo. They wave it off. But that's going to bring up 4th down. Do they go for it or do they punt it? It looks like they're bringing the punt team back out. But we've talked about them going fast-paced and slowing it back down. On that drive, they went with a little bit more up-tempo. And they got to 3rd down really quickly.
Yeah.
But Nate Adejoken really lucky to be able to get that ball back because it looked like it was going to go to the Leopards.
So here comes Pintor to punt it away once again. Caleb Ontluski, the long snapper, to send it back to him right on target. An end-over-end punt. Fair caught at the 26-yard line by Kyle Parker. And with 3:18 and 2 timeouts remaining for Lovejoy, they make their way back on the field.
And this is really a danger zone area right now for this Melissa Cardinals team because we know how explosive that the Leopards can be. If they're able to pull out some points here to make it 28-13 going into half, well, like I said, this is a dangerous position for the Cardinals. This defense has got to continue to support this offense until they find their rhythm again.
1st and 10 from the 27. Maynard with the carry, undercut after a pickup of 4. Fields on the tackle once again. It feels like every time we look up, Jacob Fields is making a play.
Yeah, I mean, he has been Mr. Johnny on the spot. He's having to do a lot for his team. But I'm really just waiting on the guy that we came to see, Nigel Smith, kind of put his imprint on this game.
Quick throw near side for Jackson Lavender, run out of bounds.
Number 2, Jackson Lavender on the catch.
Well, it's been a lot of tough stuff going on this football field. You're talking about some of the best in 5A football. This playoffs, both of these teams are going to be dangerous. We talk about them facing other teams. Trust me, other teams are watching tonight for what these guys are doing.
Maynard with the carry here on 3rd down and 4, and he won't get there. Tell you what, man, both these defenses came to play tonight. 4th down and a yard. Is Lovejoy going to consider going for it here?
And they do.
Hagel still on the field in shotgun, 4th and a yard. They got to get to the 37 for a 1st down. They look to the near side now to Jason Lavender, their offensive coordinator. 18 on the play clock. They change up the formation. Hagel changes the protection. 7 on the play clock. They're trying to draw him offside.
Almost worked. They
nearly
almost got him.
It was worth a try. They nearly got Lance Riley on the far side, but he was able to hold up.
That's our second.
Boy, if he had jumped off sides, boy, he was going to have one heck of a practice tomorrow.
So that is the second charge timeout against Lovejoy in this half. The folks running the scoreboard down on the far side weren't sure if that was the first or second timeout taken by the Leopards. We just got some confirmation there from Joe Stanley. It is their second timeout. So they have one remaining here in the opening half. It'll be 4th down and 1. You would imagine, after trying to draw them offside and calling the timeout, that Lovejoy will come out and punt this football away.
Tell you what, that was one heck of a tackle by number 23, Josh Nichols, coming up from his strong safety position. Because if he doesn't, this drive continues for Lovejoy, and it's been a lot of guys in individual effort on the Cardinals defense, doing a good job. Like you said, this is a game by now. We expected, Mike, for easily this to be in the 30s for both of these squads because of the amount of offense that we've seen. But this is a low-scoring affair by their standards.
Both these teams averaging in excess of 45 points per game this season. Melissa at 46.1, Lovejoy at 53.7. Lovejoy, in fact, has 3 different games with 60+, 2 games this year with 70 points.
Wow.
Tonight, a 21-13 lead on Melissa. Now, both of these teams are very clearly the class of their district. It is a pretty big gap between these two teams and third place. So a lot of those numbers are racked up against teams that don't, frankly, have the athletes that Melissa and Lovejoy have. I don't think that it was necessarily going to be a 70-point affair today. It was on the table as a possibility if this game really got going up and back and forth, that 63-56 might have been possible. But credit to both of these defenses. They've stood tall in a couple of key spots tonight.
I wish America could hear you try and put these games together and just say, you know, they scored 30 here, they scored 40 here. These are common opponents. They had this many first downs. And look, wait a minute. This is very important. And I'm sitting there going, Mike, wait a minute, man. I can't follow all this. Do we have a game or not? Is it Thursday or Friday? It's a lot. It's a lot, Mike.
You're making me sound like the mad scientist over here.
No, you are. And every week you do this, and I'm saying, like, is he going to do this every week? And every week, it's the same equation. Oh, these are the states. Look, on this day, look, it was this kind of weather. Played on this field. Come on, Mike, got to play the game.
So Melissa did call timeout there before the punt from Lovejoy, so they now only have 1 remaining here with 2:02 to play in the first half. Handoff at Adejoken. Big hole far side. Closed off nicely by Bennett Slaughter, but not before he picks up 7.
And that's 1:51, so time is becoming important right now for the Cardinals, and they're still committed to running the ball.
It will be Melissa ball to begin the second half. Ham to the air. Single coverage looking for Maynard. That will draw a flag. The hold on Gabe Joyner as he got a whole bunch of jersey on Maynard.
Let me tell you something. I don't blame Gabe Joyner. And for any cornerbacks that are out there in high school football, it's not a spot foul. It's 15 yards. So if you're beat, hold on. All right? If I was a high school coach and you got beat for a long touchdown, I would immediately yank you from the game because, look, it's not a spot foul. You hold on to this guy. That foul was at the 30-yard line. Look at where the ball is placed.
1st and 10 in Lovejoy territory, but it could have been 10 to 15 yards further downfield if that ball was caught. Where that ball landed was at the 34-yard line. So, 14-yard difference in terms of where Maynard could have caught that football. Minute 35 to play here in the first half. Again, 1 timeout remaining now for both teams. High snap. Ham had to pull it down. Finally gets the handoff to Adejoken. I don't know how they're going to be able to make positive yards out of this play, but Adejoken will spin down for 2.
Yeah, you see that from Trevor Ham. They're just playing hot potato right now. You take it, you take it, you take it. And finally, Adejoku gets it and still picks up positive yards.
2nd and 8. Ham, deep shot, but nobody home in the white jersey. Flag on the play.
I think they're going to get him for another PI.
It was Lincoln Dunn that was on that side. It looked like he ran a post. Ham threw the ball up the near sideline like he was looking for a go route. Maynard was on this near side as well, and I wonder, did he get interfered with and wasn't able to continue his route? Perhaps that was why there was nobody in the vicinity in a white jersey.
Yeah, and I believe it's going to be Lincoln Dunn that they're going to claim that was interfered.
It's another pass interference penalty.
And the Lovejoy sideline does not agree.
So that's going to bring the ball down to the 35-yard stripe now. 1st and 10 for Melissa. They've got the football at the 35. They've got the stick at the 36. You see what I'm seeing there?
I am. I think he's talking to, well, no, and move. Okay, there it is. No? That's the first down, so we should have everything all even, right?
They're still sorting it out. Ham takes the snap out of shotgun. Pressured, ball's out. Was that a pass or not? What a job by Jacob Fields to scramble on top of that football and keep the Cardinals in possession.
Boy, that is a great job up front.
They do say it was an incomplete pass. It did look like Ham at least began his throwing motion before it came out. They'll say incomplete pass, stopping the clock with 58.9 left. 2nd down and 10. Ham fires near side, complete for Gunnar Wilson at the 29-yard line. Clock continues to run now, 48 and change. Timeout, Melissa.
Really go ahead.
Do stick with us here at halftime on Friday Night Football. We will bring you the halftime show in its entirety. The Melissa Mighty Cardinal Band under the direction of Jerry Wharton, and the Lovejoy Band directed by Paul Hewer. That's coming your way here in 45 seconds worth of game time on Friday Night Football.
And one thing I want to point out is just Nick Perez, number 82, that forced that fumble. He is relentless coming after the football, man. I'm loving the way that this defensive line for the Leopards, they're just tired of seeing the Cardinals get all the praise on defense. Finally, these guys have responded also. Obviously, those PI penalties doesn't do them any good, but if they don't commit those penalties, they're giving up a big gain. This defensive line, again, they're going to have to dig in, especially with 45 seconds right now, because if you are the Cardinals, you want to close this out by putting points on the board because you get the ball back to begin the second half. They call it a split, but also what also you do is you steal the momentum in a game that's been really back and forth. Like, who has the momentum right now, Mike Leslie? Can you tell me?
It's up for grabs right now. It really feels that way. But if Lovejoy's able to execute the double, or like Mike McCarthy likes to call it, the double-double with cheese.
We'll take that.
3rd and 4. Quick throw near side. Wide open is Ford. He's got the first down.
Man.
They'll wind the clock on that.
He stepped back in bounds, and that's a guy that a defensive player playing offense, he needs to go all the way out of bounds.
It is a first down, so the clock stops momentarily for them to set the sticks. Now they wind it once again. Melissa now out of timeouts. Ham in shotgun. 2 wides to the top of the formation. Handoff for Fields. He's taken down immediately. That clock's going to wind. They're going to have to really hurry now. 20 seconds and moving. Ham trying to race his guys back to the line of scrimmage. Down to 15. 2nd down and 10. Looking near side, oh no, it's dropped. Right in the hands of Zach Bonner, and he dropped it.
Oh my gosh, that was a gift from Ham to Bonner.
So now with 7 seconds left on the clock, Melissa's going to run Aiden Pintor out on the field to try and kick a field goal here before halftime. 3rd down and 10, so they'll have, well, they won't have the option to try it on 4th down if something were to go wrong because they have no timeout to work with. But not enough time for them to try and squeeze another play in, squeeze an end zone shot in, so they're going to try a 40-yard field goal here from Aiden Pintor, who did miss the PAT earlier today, but to your point, because he slipped.
Yeah, because he slipped. But also, I think I have questions right there at the end of this half for Coach Nally. He understood that he was going to be up against the clock, and he called multiple timeouts. You know what? We have to go right back to the beginning of this game. On that first drive, they called a timeout. And that's one that I'm sure they wish they had right now.
That one and the timeout they called right before the punt, too.
Yes.
Both. I mean, that's 2 timeouts that they could and should probably still have, because the timeout they called before the punt, Lovejoy had just called timeout.
Right.
You would think they would have had the opportunity to get things sorted.
They have a little bit of clock mismanagement right now from the Cardinals, who played a really tough first half.
The snap will come from Luke Damel. The hold from Carson Maynard. A 40-yard field goal from the right hash, and he slipped again. What is happening on the field tonight here in Lucas? The 4th time we've seen a player slip. Twice now it's been Aiden Pintor, and the field goal misses low again, just like his PAT, and it will stay 21-13 with 3.5 seconds left here in the first half.
Boy, that is something. What a turn of events right now for the Cardinals. But you know what? That kicker, you're going to need him. So for everybody out there, man, when your kicker comes off the field like that, you got to lift his head up, because it's going to come down. You got 3.5 seconds, and you need him to kick that thing to get you a W. That is the last guy that you want him to be hanging his head down.
There are 3.5 seconds left. They'll hand it off here for Maynard. He's got a lot of running room to begin the play, but it closes up pretty quickly. Jacob Fields makes sure of that. And we will head to halftime. 21-13, the lead for the Lovejoy Leopards at the break. Heckma Harrison, we need to get something going on with this field here so that everybody stops losing their footing.
I didn't know we were on the ice rink, but obviously, you know, you being a New York guy, I mean, you would understand what playing in those kind of conditions are like. But here we are down here in Texas. But you know what? There's another thing. It is a little humid out here for the temperature. Yeah. Maybe that's making the difference. I don't know. I'm just trying to give them something to go off of, because we've seen a lot of slipping. 4
times tonight we've seen it happen. As many as possibly 4 points off the board for Melissa as a result of 2 of those slips, and it's 21-13. Lovejoy with the lead at the break on Friday Night Football.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up with Daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Here inside the broadcast booth, Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison back with you here on Friday Night Football. 21-13, our halftime score. Heckma Harrison, maybe not the up-and-down track meet we were expecting, and really credit has to go to these two defenses. They made some plays in this first half.
No, they really have, and I think it was the interceptions that really changed this game. Obviously, for the Cardinals, they had so much going on offensively. Then you get down in the red zone and you throw an interception. Man, that changes everything for you. I mean, it steals a lot of your momentum that you have as well, but I mean, literally, the Cardinals did come back out, and they responded. And guess who else played a little defense? The Leopards as well.
Yes, they did. Give you a look at our halftime stats to this point. 21-13 the score in favor of Lovejoy. But you look at that left column, everything kind of leans Melissa's way, doubling them up in first downs, nearly 100 more total yards, 142 more passing yards. Everything except for that 2 in the bottom left corner for turnovers, leaning Melissa's way. But as you mentioned, those 2 interceptions so very important in why this is a 21-13 Lovejoy lead at halftime.
Mike, and I'm sure, man, you watch a ton of football. Teams are going to turn the ball over. There's going to be an errant snap. Running back's going to fumble. It's where you fumble. And when you fumble in the red zone, that's like the kiss of death, basically, for you. It steals all of your momentum away. It makes it harder for you to get back in the game, to score again. And that's exactly what's happening for the Cardinals. That one in the corner of the end zone from Ham that he threw, I think that's really what changed the trajectory of this game. They've had a lot of things go their way, but hey, make no mistake about it. The Leopards have gotten lucky because they've had a lot of balls on the ground that they've been able to get back. And but one, by the way, that Kyle Parker took to the house.
Yeah, that was an incredibly fortunate bounce. The fumble by Matthew Maynard, forced by Melissa's Jason Cave, but it took 2 quick bounces and hopped right into the waiting arms of Kyle Parker, and he took it to the house to make it 21-13 Lovejoy, and that is the score here at halftime. Give you a reminder of the district standings here in 7-5A Division II. 2 6-0 teams, perfect all the way through their district slate, deciding a district champion tonight here in Lucas, Texas. It will be Melissa football to begin the second half. They had the missed field goal there right before the break as they did drive down into Lovejoy territory. A couple of pass interference penalties helping them get deep into Lovejoy territory, but they couldn't quite capitalize. For the second time today, Heckma, we saw Aiden Pintor, the Melissa kicker, slip on his plant foot. Yeah. And just bail out and ended up hitting the ball low. Happened on a PAT that stole a point away from him. Happened on the field goal there before halftime. We've seen players from both teams slip and fall. Kyle Parker had a 4-yard loss in the first half for Lovejoy, slipping down and hitting the deck. Something, the folks out here in the press box were joking, yeah, we Vaselined the field tonight.
I wasn't going to say that. I was not going to say that. But there's an ongoing joke up here in the press box. And they say, we all the field down.
So here comes the Melissa Cardinals from their own 10-yard line, ahead of steam out across the 30 for Lincoln Dunn. In good starting field position here for the Cardinals to open up quarter number 3.
And I just really want to see right now, down by 8 points, the way that these guys approach, Coach Nally approaches this second half. You know how committed he was to the running game, and those numbers were on the chart that you showed earlier. And I think that has made a difference. If they could stick to that and obviously keep this Leopards offense on the sideline, find a way to take the lead, this is going to be important for them in this first drive.
Quick throw far side, backward pass, Maynard taken down. It looked like they may have been trying to set up the trick play.
Yeah.
There were 2 Melissa Cardinals down there, only 1 defender. The backward pass there, but it was read perfectly and cut down by Zach Bonner.
That's exactly what they were doing. Coming out with a little trickeration on that first play, but it was read perfectly. And what ends up happening is they lose a ton of yards and set themselves up, man, and behind the change. 2nd and 21 now for the Cardinals.
Ham's going to have to go to the air. Quick throw far side. They're going to earn back a decent chunk of it and maybe quite a bit more. Still spinning and going. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Gunnar Wilson thought he was still alive, and so did I. He earns back 10 of the 11 yards that they lost. Another look at it here. Did he step on that sideline?
That was really close, boy. I tell you what, but they have the referee on that side, so it does make for 3rd and 11, and maybe they have a free play here.
They do. Quick throw far side, complete in the hands of Carson Maynard. He's going to be close to first down yardage, but shy. Decision here for Matt Nally. Do you take 4th and 2 or do you take 3rd and 6? It looks like he's going to take... I thought he was going to take 3rd and 6. You'd think you'd want one more bite at the apple to try and pick up the first down rather than have to go for it on 4th down here.
I absolutely think you should. And Nally's going to go the other way with, well, I think they're still trying to decide.
They do take the penalty. It'll be 3rd down and 6 now.
Hey, I don't know if you, out of all the assignments that you have for WFAA, if you do a little coaching on the side there, Mike Leslie, but way to put your coaching hat on.
So 3rd and 6, pressure from Lovejoy. Ham steps up, looking deep. Hitting the deck was Javen Smith. No flag, incidental contact. There were 2 defenders there for Lovejoy, and it's 4th down.
And that's twice that I've seen where Trevor Ham, look at him, he may have an opportunity to escape the pocket, jump out the window, and pick up a first down, but you know he's really just a quarterback at heart, man. He's keeping his eyes locked up the field and trying to make a throw to pick up big yardage.
So on 4th and 6, they'll punt it away. Pintor sends it up the seam, bounces outside the numbers and bounces out of bounds at the 33.
Yeah, let's see what this Leopards team has adjusted to there over halftime. And you know, for Coach Chris Ross, they are going to make some adjustments and come out here and probably try and take the top off of this Cardinals defense. They didn't have a lot of success, and you think about the big targets that they have down here. Aside from just the kickoff, Parker Livingstone has been relatively quiet, and he is their big play guy as well with Kyle Parker.
Quick throw near side. Livingstone breaks a tackle across the 40. Livingstone in a foot race up across midfield. Livingstone inside the 30. He will not be tracked down. Parker Livingstone on the first offensive play of the second half for Lovejoy to the house.
And I love it when you call a guy's name and he comes right back out and he makes a play. And so you know how important he is to this Lovejoy Leopards team. And he has a knack for those big plays. And at 6'4", 180 pounds, man, he is moving and grooving. We saw from the kickoff, he is one of those guys that really is hard to tackle in open field, and that's just a running play for him. You get this guy out in short areas, he can make a play from anywhere on the football field.
One broken tackle, and it's a 2-score game. 67 yards for Parker Livingstone on the quick screen to the near side, and he breaks away from everybody to give Lovejoy a 28-13 lead. Early third. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Heckma Antonio Ramiro Romo Harrison with his Tony Romo moment.
I love it.
Calling out Parker Livingstone and the very next play.
Mike, you gotta stop, man. You gotta stop. What you do?
Calling his shot, and Livingstone scores, and it's 28-13. Lovejoy with the lead. Leopards kicking it away. And from his own 10-yard line, With a big head of steam up the far sideline goes Clark Packard out to the 27. So now Melissa Heckma-Harrison has to find an answer.
Yeah, you're in a pickle. This is where you find yourself, and you're going to have to try and battle back. Really have been patient. Coach Nally has really tried to just chip away at it, and we know how high-powered both of these offenses are, but they have committed themselves to this running game and Adejokun and picking up those little bits and pieces in the running game. But right now, they're going to have to find a way to get over the top, and Ham's going to have to deliver.
1st and 10, handoff Adejokun. Give him 3 on the carry. You know, I don't usually do this kind of thing, but I'm struck in the moment to do so. Ordinarily, I want every single person that can possibly tune into these broadcasts to do so. Ball on the deck. Loose and recovered by Lovejoy. Zach Bonner with the recovery.
That's it.
And Lovejoy's defense for the 3rd time today causes a turnover.
And that's the difference between winning and losing. You cannot do that. Ball security is a must, and this happens more than not. When you're watching a team that runs this RPO, when there's confusion between the running back and the quarterback, that ball typically always hits the deck. And in that situation, the Cardinals could not avoid a certain disaster with putting the ball on the deck now for the 3rd time, 3rd turnover for the game for him.
So 1st and 10 from the 22, and here comes Hagel with 4 wides. Handoff Maynard, and there's Caleb Otluski immediately. Otluski with a limp as he got back to his feet. The senior San Diego State commit, one of the best players on this Melissa Cardinals defense. And the Cardinals need a play on defense right now in the worst way. Hagel barking out signals to his offensive line. 2 wides to either side here on 2nd down and 9. Play action, quick throw near side, incomplete at the feet of Parker Livingstone.
Got to give a little credit right there, because I tell you, he has a guy standing over the top, and if he does try and complete that pass, number 25 is standing right there, and Landon Brandow standing right in position, so he was right there. Maybe that's a pick, and seriously, the Leopards right now just have to play to their game plan. If they can do that, they can walk away with a victory right now, because I think up by 15, this Cardinals offense has lost a lot of their steam.
Hagel taken down from behind. Nigel Smith coming through for the sack, and it's 4th and long.
Isn't that the guy we've been talking about? Isn't that the guy that we've been saying that could take over? And look at him, that big body, he is all over it.
Double teamed on the play, still spun out of it and makes the sack.
I mean, and when you're 6'5", 265, man, it's really hard for any offensive lineman to get his hands on you, bull rush you, or just kind of keep you out.
So now here comes Caden Carlock for a 41-yard field goal from smack dab in the center of the field. On the way, off the upright and no good. So Melissa's defense gets the 3 and out, and they get fortunate with the stoink off the upright, and it stays 28-13.
Did you call a stoink from Luke? we got a stoink in an Antonio Romero promo. This broadcast is going places, ladies and gentlemen.
We're only 3 minutes and 6 seconds into the 3rd quarter, man. We got a long way to go still.
Oh, my God. What a game. I mean, this pace has been furious. We talked about the offense and how explosive this game was going to be, but
Ham pulls it out, fires far side. Javen Smith up the sideline with a head of steam. He's out to the 38-yard line and a 1st down.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, another one of those RPO moments, and you see Ham with the magic trick getting the ball back out on the outside to Javen Smith. They've got to get something going here in the 2nd half offensively.
1st and 10, Adejokun going to keep it this time. Stiff armed for a moment, but then swallowed up by Bennett Slaughter. It's going to be a loss of 6 on the play.
Well, hello, Bennett Slaughter. He says, Adejokun, I'm sick of you running over my guys out here. I'm going to take a shot at you. See if I can put you on your name tag.
This time, Leopard fans, if you were on the side of the field, please make sure you have...
Player down there for Lovejoy is Nick Perez.
Nick Perez having one heck of a game.
Big defensive tackle, they say, is one of the leaders of their defense.
Well, he has played solid. And really just love the motor of number 82.
Second and 15 officially now. Ham, handoff right up the middle, and look at Jacob Fields. Look at the speed, and he's not going to be chased down from behind. Give him a 68-yard touchdown run, and Jacob Fields, with one play, gets Melissa right back in it.
Mike Leslie, look at how fast this guy is. When he gets to that hash mark, it looks like he's taking it one step in between these 5-yard markers, and that was a tremendous hole on the left side. That is a good job by this offensive line, and they pick up the 2-point conversion.
They throw it near side for Jackson Ford. The 2-point conversion pays off. They earn back the point that they lost on the PAT earlier, and it's 28-21. Jacob Fields. There's a reason why Matt Nally told us he may be the best single player they have on the football team. 28-21, Melissa right back in it.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
The live chat on YouTube lighten up after that run from Jacob Fields, a 68-yard lightning strike, and Melissa cuts the lead in half down to 7 at 28-21. Heckma Harrison, this game has had some swings.
Oh, it really has, and I got to apologize to number 5, Jacob Ford. I called him a billboard wearing a jersey. Didn't know this guy had hands, and big number 5, he's putting in the work right now. That's a great job.
High kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 32-yard line. Melissa maybe trying to catch Lovejoy napping there just a little bit, but Maynard makes the fair catch.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that I am really excited about, when especially on that last drive, was someone put a bug in the ear of Nigel Smith, because even double team, you saw him break through and get a sack. They're going to need number 2 to come up big here down the stretch, because I think the Leopards have gotten the message. They just can't salt this game away. They're going to have to keep scoring right now with the Cardinals.
4 wide receiver set here for Hagel. Play action fake, throw far side, incomplete at the feet of Kyle Parker. He had a defender draped all over him. It was Jake Patusik.
Patusik just doing his best job right now. Not trying to play it too safe, but that's a good job of not getting the PI as well.
Twin wide receivers to either side again here. Handoff, Maynard coming near side, trying to get off a block there was Lance Riley, banged down on the sideline by Jason Cave. A gain of maybe 2. It'll be 3rd and 8.
From Jason Cave right now, he's coming down from his linebacker position, and that's how you get it done. You read and react and force a 3rd down. This would be big if they could force a 3 and out.
They send the blitz. Lovejoy picks it up. Nigel Smith had a hold of him for a second, and he gets him down. Nigel Smith, with his big paw on the back of Braden Hagel, gets his 2nd sack of the night, and it's 4th down for Lovejoy.
Look at number 2. He is keeping his hands active inside of Noah Gardner. These two have been battling all night, but big number 2, he is such a specimen that if he just gets his hand on you, you're going to double over, and he did just that. Braden Hagel trying to find something, look up the field. That's more of a coverage sack than anything, but that's a good job by the Cardinals defense, just keeping going and being relentless in getting the sack.
And what a mouthful that is to say that the Melissa defense was able to initiate a coverage sack against this wide receiver core from the Lovejoy Leopards. Lovejoy to punt it away once again. Bounces across midfield and will take a Leopards roll right to the 40-yard stripe. Downed there by Will Frost, and back comes this Melissa offense. Now all of a sudden, once again, with a chance, down one score to get their offense on the field.
Yeah, and again, this offense for the Cardinals, they've had a formula that they have basically stuck to, and that is just keeping it on the ground and throwing when necessary. They are really confident in these two running backs that they have.
1st and 10 at the 40, midway point of quarter number 3. Low snap, handoff at Ajokin, snowed under immediately. And a woof from Lovejoy's Mason Dragoo.
Yeah, that's a great tackle, but we've seen a lot of that from Trevor Ham where he's picking these snaps up off the ground. They cannot afford to turn the ball over here.
Lovejoy substituted, so the umpire pausing play there for a moment to give the Leopards a chance to respond in kind. That ball way over the head of Jacob Cusano, and it's going to be 3rd and 11.
And you can tell right now, defensive coordinator Jason Johns, he's adjusted his coverage. He's been playing quarters coverage for a lot of the game. We've seen him switch it up, go from 3 to 2, bring an extra man down in the box to try and stop Nate Adejokun. Right now, they're going back to cover 2 to see if Ham can make a throw. And guess what he does? He makes a throw.
Strike over the middle. Maynard on the receiving end, 1st down.
And right on cue. Like I said, they're forcing him to make that throw, but man, what a great find right there for Maynard. And Maynard is just really a slick receiver, man, finding those little soft areas in coverage.
1st and 10, Ham stepping up, going his way once again, tried to go back shoulder, but it's out of bounds.
And I love the thought right there between Maynard and Ham. I'm sure that's just all timing. And you got that big body from Maynard that you want to get that back shoulder fade going with.
Handoff Fields trying to find a crease. Dances his way through one tackle. Give him 4, maybe 5 on the carry. Maybe more about 3 based on the far side line judge. Now they move it to 4. 3rd down and 6. Ham's got to convert once again. Handoff Fields. No, he's going to keep it himself. Just flips it out to Gunnar Wilson. That's complete. It's going to be short of a 1st down by about a yard.
Boy, that's gutsy right there, boy. That is gutsy on the hand of Ham. Just saying, look, I cannot take a sack right here.
4th down and about a yard. They have to get to the 37-yard line to move the sticks. Adejokun checks back in. Down to 19 on the play clock. Ham barking out the play to his offensive line. They need a full yard on 4th down. Ham to the air, rolling right, fires way too tall for his intended target, Maynard, and incomplete, and it's a 4th down stop for Lovejoy.
And it's plays like that where I understand that you're really trying to pick up those yards and make a big play and get it out to Carson Maynard, who has been Mr. Everything. That big body goes up and he makes the catches. But I tell you what, Nate Adejokun has been running tough for you. And I'd bet the house that he could pick up a yard, especially on 4th and 1.
The 6-foot, 180-pound junior doesn't end up getting the football, and it goes back to Lovejoy. Maynard with one cut right up the field and was just that close to daylight.
Oh, he really was. What a cut by Maynard. Look at this. He's splitting 2 defenders, and if he can make it through there, he's going to hit his head on the goalpost. That's all, man, that's a great cut by number 7.
Officials timeout. A player injured here for the Melissa Cardinals. That's Clark Packard, one of their starting corners, that has to make his way off. Dalton DeBabney makes his way on for him on the far sideline. 1st and 10 from the 49 in Lovejoy territory. Hagel near sideline, behind the defense. Did he haul that in?
He did.
Oh my goodness, what a catch from Parker Livingstone. The one-handed snatch out of midair.
That's when you got paws. When you got paws like that, boy, that's a grown man catch.
Quickly back to the action, Maynard on the carry. He slips down. A little more of the Vaseline on the turf here at Leopard Stadium.
Hey, it works both ways.
It's unbelievable. On a turf field, I mean, you mentioned the humidity earlier, but that has happened 5-6 times now tonight. Maynard on the carry once again, trying to get near sideline, lowers his shoulder. It'll be 1st and goal.
The best thing about that for Maynard, he stays in bounds. Again, it's tough running.
Timeout, Melissa.
Yeah, this Cardinals defense is worn out. You can see these guys, they're down on knees, hands on hips. That's a tired defense. They hadn't gotten a lot of time to recoup, but these guys have got to stand up now and find a way to get a stop. This game isn't over. I mean, obviously we know how quick strike this offense can be for Melissa, but man, they have relied so much on the big play to stay in this game.
You may have just seen it on the left side of your frame. That was Matt Nally hollering at one of the officials, I believe hollering at the referee, Joe Stanley, trying to get a holding call against this Lovejoy offensive line as he fixed the jersey of Nigel Smith.
Well, you can call holding on every play on number 2.
Yeah.
that Nigel Smith's jersey, I don't care who he's playing against, everybody's trying to hold on to him. That is one big man young man that you've got to try and stop. Otherwise, he is a game wrecker.
Out of the timeout, it'll be 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. It's going to go Wildcat with Matthew Maynard here. Maynard claps for the snap. Prior to the snap, a stoppage here. No signal yet as to why the stoppage. Apparently the officials hadn't yet given the ready for play signal, so no penalty. Now we're ready for the action. Maynard and Wildcat. Handoff, Parker, big hole. Parker coming to the near sideline, stiff arms his way to the 2. Petusik there to run him out of bounds.
And this is awesome vision right there from Kyle Parker, finding a way to pick up positive yards, and here they are again, knocking on the door for another score.
Maynard and Parker. Parker gets the carry, hops in the hole, into the pile. They're going to mark him short by about a half a yard. Lance Riley wrapped him up and held on for dear life. It'll be 3rd and goal.
As Parker loses his hat and has to come out of the game. Really interesting because Matthew Maynard has been more the sledgehammer from the running back position.
They're going to have Lavender take the snap now on Wildcat, and he does find the lane to the end zone. Touchdown, Lovejoy.
And Jackson Lavender gets in on the action. Repeat play from the Wildcat from the 1st quarter, and same result.
Couple of 1-yard touchdown runs bookending the scoring right now for Lovejoy. Kyle Parker opening it up just 1 minute and 2 seconds in. Now that 1-yard touchdown run from Jackson Lavender, and it's a 35-21 lead for the Lovejoy Leopards. 3:07 left here in the 3rd quarter on Friday Night Football, a special Thursday night edition, and Lovejoy up 2 scores late 3rd.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
Back in Lucas, 35-21 the score. Give you a look at why this game is important beyond just the fact that it is a district championship game. It's for seeding, of course, as well, coming out of this district. Winner gets the 1 seed, loser gets the 2 seed. And in Region 2, in 5A Division 2, it's going to be loaded. Midlothian Heritage and Everman playing for a district title themselves tonight. South Oak Cliff, Lovejoy and Melissa here. Texarkana, Texas High. It's unbelievable how deep this region is. And the loser of this game, likely to get South Oak Cliff in the second round of the playoffs. You'd probably rather push that off a round or two if you could, but that is the reality here for whoever comes up on the short end of this football game tonight. Javen Smith out across the 30-yard line. Another nice return for the Melissa Cardinals. And here comes Trevor Ham once again.
And I tell you what, the Golden Bears have put together a string of victories after that tough, don't want to call it preseason, but that's kind of what it is. I mean, you schedule the South Oak Cliffs of the world, the Duncanvilles of the world, and look, DeSoto's, you go through that part of your schedule. And I think Coach Jason Todd is really happy with the way that this season is starting to shape up. These guys are right now in prime possession to defend their state title.
Had a joke and had a lane, but he's hog-tied by Chase Bogle, who got just enough of his ankle to keep a hold of him.
Man, that's how you got to tackle this guy. You just got to grab around his shoes. You don't want to try and take him up top because he will run you over.
He's got nowhere to go on this one. The handoff's going to go for a big loss.
And you see the difference. You see the difference in this Leopards defense when they have playing with a lead and they understand that, look, we're walling these guys off on the back end. They don't respect the big playability of these receivers at all. They're not even thinking about these guys getting over the top. They're backing all the way out, back in coverage. You look at their safeties. Their safeties are about 15 to 18 yards off the ball.
And that's on 3rd and a mile.
Yes.
They've got to get to the 39 for a first down. Ham looking up the near side for Maynard. Single coverage. Overshot his intended target, but a flag? No.
Well, I think right
now
the
Lovejoy sideline is reacting as if they did throw a flag. If there is a flag, it's beyond our vision. It was thrown on the sideline by the field judge. It is going to be a flag against Lovejoy. It's going to be a defensive hold, not pass interference, but it is an automatic first down for Melissa.
And you see it right now. They want to say that this was an uncatchable ball, and Coach Chris Ross is about to blow a gasket over here.
Now, the important distinction here, though, is they didn't call pass interference. They called holding. Pass interference, catchable or not, is a factor. On a holding call, it's not. Because part of the reason, if you're the official, you're saying part of the reason why the ball wasn't catchable is because your guy had a handful of jersey and he couldn't get to the football.
Well, nonetheless, it's first down, so I'm sure either way Melissa will take it. They're just happy to continue to keep this drive going.
1st and 10 at the 31 after the 5-yard penalty. Handoff up the middle. Connor Betts carrying for the first time tonight. Bishop Curry, one of their other reserve running backs, out tonight with an injury. We've seen mostly Adejoken and Jacob Fields. Josh Nascimento will carry some. Connor Betts will carry some. When he's healthy, Bishop Curry will get in there as well. But mostly tonight, 21-8. Ham over the middle, wide open is Jackson Ford, and his big body rumbles out to the 48-yard line, and a first down for the Cardinals.
He is a tight end if I've never seen one. I mean, a guy that size, that nimble, and great hands. Trying to make up for what I said earlier, Mike.
Man, and who wants to tackle that dude? 6'6", 235. Here's the handoff once again up the middle for Connor Betts. Another nice carry. That one's going to go for 9, and it's going to be 2nd and 1.
Look at Connor Betts. They give him 5'9". I'm going more 5'8" there on Connor Betts. But he gets in behind that block, and they can't find him, but he picks up positive yards. Look at that. He's going to also get a first down.
On 2nd and 2, he picks up 3 and moves the chains.
It's a good job by Betts. Coming in spot duty.
1st and 10 at the 41. Now the play action over the middle. Open is Maynard. First down on a strike from Ham. They're down to the 32.
And this is the kind of rhythm that the Cardinals have to be in, and this is where they had success earlier, Mike, when they started mixing in the run with the pass. When they just are in a situation where it's 3rd and long and they have to go for it, they cannot fool this Leopards defense. And their defensive coordinator, Jason Johns, does a really good job keeping the junior quarterback, Trevor Ham, off balance.
Maynard with the reception there once again, down to the 20-yard line. 2nd down and about 3. Another quick throw to Maynard. Makes a man miss. Has the first down inside the 10. Ball came out. Are they saying he was still up?
He's down.
One official seems to be signaling down. The line judge is marking the ball where it was recovered.
Yeah, he's down.
The umpire is going to win out here down at the 11-yard line. Another look at it here. Yeah, that's pretty clear. He was down, then the ball was ripped out. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Ham to the air again. End zone shot, single coverage. Just beyond the grasp of Maynard, who they have gone to time and again on this drive.
Yeah, this is going to be Maynard's drive. If he ends up getting a touchdown and he's down in the end zone, he finally was making his way up.
And that's going to be the final play of quarter number 3. 35-21. Lovejoy with the lead, but Melissa threatening when we return. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
Absolutely love the stadium.
The atmosphere here is pretty cool. Look at this. They do a sing-along here at Leopard Stadium between the 3rd and 4th quarter. Pretty cool atmosphere here at Leopard Stadium. Both fan bases getting involved there with the between the 3rd and 4th quarter sing-along. They even had the lyrics up on the board. They're not done.
I love it.
What a cool deal to get the fans involved here as we head to the 4th on Friday Night Football. 2nd down and 10 it will be for the Melissa Cardinals at the 11-yard line. Ham's got 2 wide receivers to his right. Handoff, good hole. And Betts is going to get down to about the 8-yard line. They can get a first down without scoring, but they'd have to be inside the 1 in order to do so.
It looks like they did not start the clock. Well, they just did.
Yeah, that entire play happened without the clock running. Probably only a 3 or 4 second difference ultimately. Now a timeout. Called by Lovejoy. Something that Jason Johns, their defensive coordinator, didn't like about the way that 3rd down and 7 looked.
Yeah, and you know what? I see that they're going with a change of pace with bringing in Connor Betts. He's doing a good job on this drive. They've gotten behind Carson Maynard a lot. He's come up big for him, but I tell you what, Trevor Ham also has responded. He gets behind the chains, and again, this defensive coordinator, he's showing him a lot of different looks This guy's not getting rattled, and he's coming of age right here in front of our face because he's having to stand in the pocket, read coverage, and choose the right receivers. And most of the time it's Case and Maynard, but still he's catching him in space and allowing him to make a play. This team right now, look, no matter how this is going to end, they know that, look, we've been in this game. We've got to put some points on the board. Your defense is also competing. One of the things that hasn't happened for them as a defense, they haven't gotten a turnover. And I think they've got to feel like they're due to get a turnover here because obviously they've given up 3.
2 interceptions and the fumble recovery by Zach Bonner. Ultimately, the fumble recovery did not lead to points for the Lovejoy Leopards as they were forced to take a 3-and-out and attempt a field goal that clanged off the upright for Caden Carlock.
Stoink.
Yes, indeed. Out of the timeout, 3rd down and 7. They've got to get to the 1 for a first down. Ham. Handoff right up the middle. Lowering his shoulder was Betts. He doesn't have the first down, but it's going to be 4th and about 3 where they've marked him at the 4-yard line.
Oh, man, that's a gutsy call. Okay, that is a gutsy call. They go with a draw to Connor Betts.
And now Melissa's called timeout.
And Betts, 165 pounds. Man, he's just putting it all on the line. Try and get as close as he can, but this is a 4th down and 3. And like you said, man, they could still pick up a first down. So interesting call right here for the Melissa Cardinals.
7 points feels like a must in this situation. And given that Aiden Pintor has been maybe the person who has the biggest beef with the field here at Leopard Stadium, slipping down twice, once on the PAT, once on a field goal attempt. I can't imagine they're itching too much to attempt a field goal. If that wasn't the reason enough, obviously in this game, 3 points doesn't do you a whole lot of good, down 14 here early on in the 4th.
Yeah, they better not give him a suggestion box about this field. Pintor, if he could give this thing a half a star, he'd give it half a star right now. Those slips, I'm telling you, he's got to be ticked off about it.
So here comes Nate Adejokin in at running back once again. Ham with Adejokin in the backfield with him. Gunnar Wilson, the H-back. Wilson's going to spread out wide with Maynard and Javen Smith. Jackson Ford, the tight end, on the left side of the line. Ham with Adejokin to his left. He'll roll that way, fires that way, complete, end zone, touchdown Carson Maynard. On 4th and 3, Melissa converts and scores, and it's a 1-score game again.
This entire drive is a Carson Maynard drive. He did all the dirty work to get the Cardinals in scoring position, and that's the way you want to cap it off, with the guy that started everything, and number 9 was the dude that did it.
The 4-yard touchdown reception, his 2nd of the night.
If this guy slips again, and I'm gonna know.
I know.
But he has changed his shoes, I will say that.
Snap is good, hold is down, footing is good, PAT is through for Aiden Pintor. 35-28, the 4th down conversion from Trevor Ham and Carson Maynard, and it is a 1-score game yet again, early 4th quarter on Friday Night Football.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Back in Lucas, Texas, 35-28. The tally now in favor of the Lovejoy Leopards. Melissa Finishing the touchdown drive off as Ham hit Carson Maynard on 4th and 3, and Heckma a gritty drive.
It really was, and I think Connor Betts came in, and I think he just offered a change of pace at the running back position. You got to think Jacob Fields, and with his speed and the way that he's been running, what a kick that is.
Fair catch called for, and Matthew Maynard came racing in to make that catch.
Yikes.
Blake Redding saying, hey, I thought I was going to catch that. That was nearly a disaster for for Lovejoy, rather, and that's exactly what Melissa was looking for.
Oh, man, it really was. And you've seen disaster strike so many times, two guys going after the same ball. But just want to say that was really a gritty drive. They were backed against the wall several times, had to overcome third downs, and they did exactly that. Trevor Ham deserves a lot of credit for that drive as well, because I tell you, the defensive coordinator has been throwing a lot of different coverages at him, as I pointed that out, but he made sure that he rolled Carson Maynard in all of those situations. That's a good job by this team.
Little pop pass here for Parker Livingstone coming near side, cuts up field and gains 5 on the first play of the series for the Lovejoy Leopards. We've seen Melissa's defense make some stops at points in this football game. They're going to need at least one here in the fourth quarter to give themselves a chance to pull even in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you got a guy the size of Parker Livingstone coming around the bend at you. You talk about his speed, but also he's shown some physicality as well.
Handoff Maynard, trying to get the outside. He's got the edge, he's got the first down and then some into Melissa territory and down to the 42.
And look at this. This is Parker Livingstone on the outside, allowing his guy to get the edge. I love it when the wide receivers, they make that block. It's a little bit in the bag, but they throw their hands up to say to the receiver, not me. I mean, to the referees, not me. I didn't do it. This guy's too much.
1st and 10, they'll mark him at the 43. Maynard with the carry once again, racing up the middle and picking up another chunk of 6 yards.
And this is going to be something. If the Lovejoy Leopards can respond with the score of their own.
Maynard grabbed from behind and taken down. Landon Brandow with the tackle. Hagel barking out signals to his offense. 1st and 10 at the 33. Ten minutes left in this one as Hagel looks near side to Jason Lavender. They change the play. 15 on the play clock. Handoff Maynard. Nice cut up field, bounces off a tackler, and he's got 9 more, maybe 10 and another first down.
Man, that is a great run. Matthew Maynard, I would love to say that he's being patient, but he is hitting the gas coming around that corner. And the Leopards are just responding as I didn't see the flag.
There is a flag behind the play. It was right on the 35-yard stripe. You can see it there behind Joe Stanley. And that's going to be a hold against Lovejoy that backs him up and takes that 9.5-yard carry by Maynard off the board.
I want to tell you, Matt Nally has been petitioning to the referees on that side for a holding penalty for about 3 quarters now. And finally, he gets his wish.
It's been a 2.5-hour-long filibuster for Matt Nally on the far sideline.
Yes, it has been.
It has finally borne fruit for him. Sets up 1st down and 20 now. Hagel. Once again, they'll switch up the play here. 2 wides to the top of the formation for Hagel. Maynard to his right.
That's a delay of game.
They did let the play clock run to double zeros, and the back judge throwing the flag. Backward Lovejoy goes once again, unless did Lovejoy burn a timeout? Yes, they did just before the flag.
Wow. That's cutting it close.
Mm-hmm.
Although we're up here in the press box, you can hear the entire stadium screaming, counting down. Coach Chris Ross to let him know how much time he has on the clock. Luckily, he's able to call a timeout just in the nick of time to not further put himself in the hole. They're already facing 1st and 20.
In about 20 minutes' time, we will join the WFAA News at 10 here on Friday Night Football. High school game night with highlights from around the area, and they will check in with us live on the air for a couple minutes. First and 20 now out of the timeout. Quick throw near side, in and out of the hands of Kyle Parker. That one had some heat on it.
It really did. And if Kyle Parker didn't catch it, anybody else behind that boy, you would have had a jammed finger, because that's about how much heat that he had coming off on that ball. But right now, if you're the Cardinals, you've got to find a way to get a turnover. They need one bad.
Second and 20. Play action fake. Hagel looking deep. Going for all of it for Kyle Parker, but overshot him.
This kid, Kyle Parker, just has some jets. And that's a ball that I'm sure Braden Hagel is going to wish that he had back. But look at the separation that he calls at the last minute. And Kyle Parker knows it. He knows he had to step on him. Just Braden Hagel not able to deliver and get the ball to him.
So now third and 20. 9 minutes, 1 second on the clock. Melissa down a score and trying to finally find a defensive stop. Handoff Maynard. Big hole. Maynard with a head of steam. Tripped up. Flag behind the play again. Again in the neighborhood of holding.
They're going to get their wish. They're starting to see it. This defensive line has really been strong at the point of attack.
Now, because of where Maynard got to on this play, what is the decision for Matt Nally? He's going to accept the penalty and take third down and 30 instead of what would be fourth down and probably 8-ish.
Yeah, because now you're anticipating getting a stop and making them punt.
Because if you had given the result of the play, one, you leave open the possibility that Lovejoy decides to go for it, but two, you'd be in the ballpark of about a 50-yard field goal, and Lovejoy really trusts their kicker, Caden Carlock. We saw him put a good foot on a 41-yarder earlier that probably would have been good from maybe 45 or so, maybe a little bit further, and they know that he's got the kind of leg to hit a 50-yard field goal. Instead, Nally decides to accept the penalty. It's third down and 30. They have to get to the 23-yard line to pick up a first down. Motion into a 4 wide receiver set. Hagel over the middle, complete to Parker, but hopping on his back immediately was Jacob Fields, and it's fourth down and long.
And look at that from Jacob Fields, coming from the safety position, recognizing immediately he's got to get his guy down. It's going to bring up a fourth down, and as the offense lines up like they're going for it, they're going to bring their punter on the field, and Fields goes back to receive the punt.
So Caden Carlock comes on. It ends up paying off, the decision there for Matt Nally to accept that penalty. About a 13-yard difference in field position as to where it would have been. High snap, but held on to. Nose down, punt, end over end up the near sideline. We'll see where they spot this. They'll say the 18-yard line, according to our field judge, Tony Polk, and that's where Melissa will come back onto the field. Down a score, 7:50 in the fourth. Heckma Harrison, they've got themselves an opportunity.
No, they really do. And so here's the thing that I have loved this entire game about what the Cardinals have been committed to. They're going to make all the safe throws. That right now, Trevor Ham he's been reading this thing like a good book. I think the difference of coming in with Connor Betts, he is just a change of pace at the running back position. And I think as a defender, when you're used to seeing, Fields and guys like that coming at you, oh, man.
What a catch that was by Lincoln Dunn.
Jeez Louise, mid-sentence I had to stop because what a catch.
Wow. But a flag is going to negate it against Melissa.
Legal man downfield.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, man. Did they not need that? But Trevor Ham's been doing a good job, as we've seen just right there. But I think Connor Betts and him being just a difference of pace between Nate Adejoku and Jacob Fields. He's smaller in stature and able to get in behind those offensive linemen. I just don't think they see him.
The penalty sets up 1st and 15. Now another whistle before the snap. I think this time they just hadn't given the ready for play signal yet, and Melissa snapped it. I think they needed to confirm that it was indeed still 1st down after the penalty. The far side sticks had read 2nd down, but they correct that. 1st and 15. Play action fake here for Ham. Looking deep. Single coverage, hand fight, flag flies. Javen Smith was back there, covered by Gabe Joyner.
And there's a lot of hand fighting between those two. But I will say it again, Mike. If you play DB for me, you have got do not give up anything cheap and don't give up anything deep. It's not a spot foul in high school.
Yeah.
So 15 yards. Okay, so that ball comes out to about what, the 28-yard line. The penalty was committed at about the 50.
Yeah. It does wipe out the fact that Melissa had to go 15 yards to move the chains and gives them a fresh 1st down at the 28-yard line. Handoff up the middle, nowhere to go. Immediately with the penetration for this Lovejoy defense. Braden Gibson making a great play. And Nick Perez there as well.
Yeah, we saw Nick Perez go out. Looked like he had an ankle injury. Good to see him back in the game.
2nd and 12 over the middle. Maynard makes the grab.
And we've seen these two connect all game long. They have an instant connection, these two juniors, and that's got to be bad news for 5A. These are 2 young guys that you're going to see again next year.
They draw him offside. Free play here for Trevor Ham. He'll go for it all. Double coverage, intercepted, but this is going to come off the board. RJ McIntosh with the pick. He'll just run it out of bounds. No point in anybody getting hurt when it's all going to get negated by the flag anyway.
Now that was a 3rd and 4.
It certainly looks like it's just a hair less than 5 yards. I think they're going to walk it off and see where that ball gets put down. Yes, that will move the chains.
That's a costly penalty for the Leopards.
1st and 10 at the 39 for Melissa. Lovejoy trying to get 2 defenders down to the near side. They don't. Quick throw near side. Javen Smith makes a man miss, taken down from behind by Bennett Slaughter, who came racing over there.
Well, they were missing a defender on that side, and that's great recognition by Trevor Ham.
They pick up 6 as a result. Melissa exchanging personnel. The officials give Lovejoy an opportunity to respond in kind. No substitution coming, so now ready for play. 12 seconds on the play clock. 2nd down and 4. Play action. Setting up the screen underneath. Gunnar Wilson somehow staying on his feet and picking up the 1st down.
And not stepping out of bounds. He was tiptoeing that sideline. Look at the replay. This whole offensive line, they're looking at on this side, and the line judge is right there. That was so close, but he does not step out of bounds and picks up another 1st down for the Cardinals.
Really, really close to that sideline on that first step that was near it, but they say he stayed in. 1st and 10 at the 45, now in Lovejoy territory. Past the midway point of the 4th quarter. In a 1-score game, handoff up the middle here for Fields. Stays on his feet, still on his feet. One of the better 3-yard runs you'll see.
How his knee didn't go down right there is beyond me. Because he is in traffic. Looks like he's bottled up, but he's able to keep his balance. You're right, that's a great 3-yard run from Fields.
Incredible athleticism. Now they're going to get Melissa, though, for the false start. Braden Gibson was hollering and pointing, trying to get him to throw the flag, and finally they do.
What I've loved right now from the Cardinals for these last 2 drives that we've seen is the Trevor Ham and Carson Maynard connection. These two have really capped off. If they can cap off this drive with the big plays that they've had, man, this is going to say something about the Cardinals because they have played with nothing but guts.
Play action over the middle. It's intercepted. For the third time today, Lovejoy with the pick. Owen McGee with the interception. McGee still on his feet. Flag comes in. He's across midfield, taken down at the 43-yard line. Flags all over the place. I believe all of the flags are post-turnover. The interception from McGee, I believe, will stand, but his return will be somewhat negated. But the third time tonight that Lovejoy picks off Trevor Ham. They will assess the penalty against Lovejoy on the return, but it is staying Leopards football off the pick.
And I can't wait for this replay because you see great recognition by the cornerbacks dropping back in coverage on this RPO. And I'm telling you, he had his sights set on his guy. And that's a young mistake. Young mistake and a turnover. He's been playing lights out, man. And look, he's going to be mad at himself about that. But again, you just have to do a better job of reading the defense, but they fooled him.
Jacob Cusano was the intended target, but he had a couple defenders around him. McGee with the interception, and it's 1st and 10 for Lovejoy at their own 38. Handoff, Maynard coming near side. Jackson Ford hog ties him. Maybe a gain of 3.
Oh, that was just excellent. I can't say enough about that last play from Owen McGee, the linebacker, getting out in coverage from the RPO. This defense, man, I tell you, when they've needed to get a stop, they've done exactly that. And they came up big by forcing the 4th turnover of this game.
Melissa's defense now trying to find a stop to respond in kind. Only one timeout, though, remaining, and down to 4:20 here in the 4th. Hagel bobbled the snap, just has to pounce on it, gets hammered. He was down the play, in fact, was over before Secreto even got there. As right there when his knee went down, the play was over.
Oof. How lucky is that? Talk about a major change of events if they're able to get that turnover.
It is, though, 3rd down and 13. In fact, 3rd and 14. They can let the game clock tick all the way down to 3:30 if they want to before they snap this. Hagel calling out signals to his offensive line. They've got to get to the 48 for a 1st down. Melissa sends blitz. Hagel rolling out. Has a man complete. Jackson Lavender makes a man miss. Will not quite get to the sticks. It's going to be 4th down and 2.
4th and 2, and this is a big drive. What does Coach Chris Ross do?
They've got about 30 seconds to sit here and think about it. The ball is on their own side of the field. They do have a timeout to take if they want to. Hagel clapping for the snap. Down to 15. They tried to draw him offside earlier in the game. It didn't work. It looks like they're going to try one more time. Down to 6 on the play clock. Hagel does snap it. Handoff Maynard. Taken down. It is right close. At the line.
Ooh. That's close.
It is extraordinarily close. Referee says 1st down. Matt Nally's saying it should be Melissa Cardinal football.
Oh, you got to get a measurement right there. I mean, I'd be crying for the sticks to come out.
They will take an official timeout and bring the sticks out. It is incredibly close. They had to get to the 48-yard line for a 1st down there on 4th and 2. It looked like maybe even just a hair beyond the 48-yard line to get the 1st down.
Oh, man.
This is links of the chain, the difference between who has the football and not. They stretch it out. He's short. Melissa football. By 6 inches. Maynard is short, and it's Cardinal ball at the 48.
I don't know if I can take this anymore, Mike. Every week in and week out, these games are too much. I mean,
we need to get Heckma Harrison some blood pressure medication, ladies and gentlemen.
The blood pressure is fine. It's just, I'm on a roller coaster ride each and every week. These games are so exciting, and it's always coming down to just one or two plays. The margin of victory is just, man, what amazing play and what a stand. I mean, that's a great job by the Cardinals, able to get a stop and force a turnover on downs.
So here's the handoff for Adejoken, ripped down immediately by Nick Perez. It was a gutsy call, too, by Chris Ross that ended up backfiring on him. They could have punted the ball away, forced Melissa to go the length of the field. Instead, just 48 yards away from a game-tying touchdown. Flag on the play. That's going to be a false start against Melissa.
Yeah.
They've had a couple of those here in the second half that have been debilitating.
Yeah, they haven't. And I think the one thing from Trevor Ham, he's been trying to draw offsides the Leopards defense, and sometimes he ends up getting his own guys as well. So this has been tough, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 15. You're in 4-down territory right now if you are the Cardinals.
Especially with only one timeout left. They've got no choice. Quick throw near side. Gunnar Wilson complete. Undercut. Somehow kept his feet for a moment. But a good tackle secured there by Gabe Joyner, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, able to keep his feet, but still slips down there at the last minute. It's going to bring up another 3rd and 15. These are big downs right now, and I'm sure this Leopards defense is going to come after Ham.
Blitz is coming. Ham rolls out over the middle, knocked away. Right on time with the pass breakup was R.J. McIntosh, and it's 4th and 15.
How big has R.J. McIntosh been today? He's made a couple of big plays in this game.
Had the early interception to start things off for this Lovejoy defense. Fourth and football game for the Melissa Cardinals. 4th and district championship. Got to get to the 38-yard line. Play action fake from Ham. Pressure off his right edge. Fires downfield. Caught. Hauled in for the first down by Carson Maynard.
What a clutch catch by number 9, Carson Maynard. Just sitting down at the hash mark. What a ball by Trevor Ham.
What a throw by Trevor Ham, ranging back against his body. Now quick throw, Javen Smith. He's breaking loose inside the 30 to the 25. Another first down. Clock will stop with a $1:27 to move the chains, and there's a player down for the Lovejoy Leopards. Certainly looks like they're working a cramp out for a member of this Lovejoy defense.
Didn't look good at first when he went down. Looked like he was grabbing at his knee. First cramp of the day with the humidity going on out here. And so surprising that would be the first that we've seen. But what a connection right there from Trevor Ham and Carson Maynard. That was a big-time play.
On 4th down and 15. That looks to be Aaron Marshall that is the Lovejoy Leopard that is down, being tended to by the athletic training staff, Andrew Smith and Sarah Seidel, trying to work out that cramp at the 35-yard line. 1:27 to play here in this 4th quarter. Melissa with back-to-back first down throws from Trevor Ham, one on the 4th and 15 to Carson Maynard, one on the ensuing 1st and 10 to Javen Smith to get the ball down to the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Melissa. Down by 7, and with 1:27 to play here in the final frame. Good to see Aaron Marshall back up on his feet, but still favoring that left leg significantly. You certainly hope that it's nothing but a cramp.
Yes.
He's able to make his way off, and it's going to be 1st and 10 here for Melissa. They trailed by 14 to start the fourth quarter. But Ham hit Carson Maynard early on to make it a one-score game. They get the defensive stop on 4th and 2 of Matthew Maynard. Now the handoff here for Fields up the middle. Taken down from behind, Bennett Slaughter grabbed a hold of him.
Now, the last time that we saw the Cardinals in a situation like this, it was at the end of the first half. Not Coach Nally's best job at clock management. I think with all of his timeouts, he's got to be willing to manage this better than he did in the first half as Ham rolls out, looking down the field for a throw.
Ham, end zone, Maynard, he caught it. Touchdown, Melissa. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from tying the football game. Trevor Ham with a beautiful throw to the back of the end zone. For the 3rd time he hits Maynard.
These two are unbelievable.
Now we got Melissa swinging gate. We've seen them do this already once today to convert for a 2-point conversion. Now before the PAT, they're going to call timeout. 35-34, 52.1 seconds left here on the clock in the fourth quarter. Ham to Maynard for the 3rd time today. Do you, Heckma Harrison, consider going for 2 right now on the road?
Mike Leslie, I do not. I consider tying this game up and playing in overtime.
Okay.
I just don't. I've seen my kicker slip twice. I don't want to lose the district title because he slips here.
So you're saying you do go for 2?
No. What am I saying?
Okay.
I'm saying that I'm saying I do kick the field goal.
The extra point, yes. Okay.
I kick the extra point. Okay. But I don't want to go for 2 points and lose it here. And I'm thinking twice on this. All right. So let me just say, I just saw my kicker slip twice. So, my God, that's a heck of a decision. All I can tell you is that this has been one heck of a ball game. Okay.
What does Melissa do here? I do not see Aiden Pintor. The offense coming back on. Trevor Ham and the Cardinals going to go for 2 and the lead with 52 seconds in the fourth. Timeout, Lovejoy.
Oh, my God, Mike. Mike, they're going for it.
It certainly looks like they have made their decision. Lovejoy wanted to take a Polaroid of what was happening there offensively. Then they bang their final timeout, which is important because regardless of what happens here, if Melissa scores and converts on the 2-point conversion and takes the lead, Lovejoy, with as high-powered as their offense is, and as many weapons are out there for Braden Hagel to work with, 52 seconds is a long time. But not having a timeout factors in here.
No, that's everything right there. And again, I pretty much answered the question I think that Coach Nally is thinking about. I've watched my kicker fall twice on point after attempts. I don't want to suffer that again, and he's going to go for it. I mean, this is for all the marbles. He's saying, look, I believe that my team deserves to win it. And this is a gutsy call from Coach Nally.
Ham to Maynard, 25 yards for the touchdown. Now out comes Trevor Ham once again. He'll have 3 wide receivers to his left. He'll have Gunnar Wilson, the H-back, to his right. Lincoln Dunn, the wide receiver, to his right. A 2-point conversion for the lead and the district championship. Ham to the air. Wilson hauls it in. Melissa with the lead.
For the big time.
For the first time today, Melissa leads this football game 36-35 with 52 seconds left.
Mike Leslie, that is big time, and he calls up number 7, Gunnar Wilson, to win with 52 seconds left. The Cardinals are up by a score. And that's why I don't coach. That's why I don't coach. Oh, man.
Look at the Melissa fans right now, hands on their heads in disbelief at what they've seen here in the fourth. came in to the fourth quarter down 14, 35-21, but 2 Trevor Ham to Carson Maynard touchdown passes, 1 on a 4th down and 3 inside the 5-yard line, 1 on a 25-yard hook up there with 52 seconds left. Just moments after that same duo converted on a 4th and 15 to keep this last drive alive, and they lead it by 1 with 52 seconds left.
This game has been unbelievable. There were points in this game that we thought it was over. We were saying this game is over. There's no way that the Cardinals can come back because it just looked as though Lovejoy had the commanding lead. These guys never said die. They continue to play and battle back time and time again, and to be up by 1 point with 52 seconds left. And Mike, I gotta say this, because this game isn't over.
You are correct about that.
Because we've seen Parker Livingstone go the length of the field on the kickoff, and this isn't over.
Pintor out to kick it away. The ball falls off the tee. We will join the WFAA News at 10 here in about 30 seconds time. Pintor has kicked a couple of sky balls that have forced a fair catch. He's also got the opportunity to squib it if he wants to. That's a line drive kick caught on the bobble by Parker Livingstone. Coming near side, Livingstone out across the 25 and ducks out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Lovejoy, I beg your pardon, 33 is where they'll spot it as they move the sticks. Lovejoy does have a kicker in Caden Carlock that Chris Ross calls a weapon. They feel like he's got range well into the 40s, maybe 50-ish. In order to get in range for that, they'd have to get to the 33-yard line. Hagel, near side, nearly intercepted. Jake Batusik was waiting on it, but it falls harmlessly incomplete.
Oh, Jake Batusik is sick right now because he could have canceled Christmas with an interception right there. Goes right between his hands.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. There is a flag on the play. I think it was going to be a roughing the passer. We didn't get the official signal there from Joe Stanley.
I believe that was on Nigel Smith.
It is a roughing the passer penalty. It's going to bring the ball out to the 48-yard line. So now only about 20 yards away from field goal range. 41 seconds to work with for Lovejoy. High snap, bubbled. Hagel sacked. No timeouts. Clock's going to continue to run down to 35. They're going to have to race back to the line of scrimmage. He's lucky that he maintained possession. 26 seconds left as he takes the snap. Pressure off the edge. Over the middle, complete McCutcheon. Down in bounds. Clock will continue to run.
Yes, and that's the key. They don't have any timeouts.
Down to 13 seconds left. Low snap again. Hagel can't get on top of it. Still loose. They stopped the clock for a moment. It was recovered by Lovejoy. 3 seconds left on the clock. And that's going to do it. They run out of time. The Melissa Cardinals, as we welcome in our audience here on WFAA News at 10, the Cardinals win a district championship 36-35. You just saw the final seconds of the football game. A low snap to Braden Hagel, the Lovejoy quarterback. He couldn't get on top of it. It was recovered by an offensive lineman. The clock continued to wind, and as a result, it expires. And Melissa with 2 touchdown connections from Trevor Ham to Carson Maynard in the fourth quarter, come back from 14 down to start the fourth to win it 36-35. What an incredible performance, Heckma Harrison, from the Melissa Cardinals here in the fourth quarter to come back and win this football game. And Trevor Ham, the junior quarterback, who had a rough start to this football game, threw 3 interceptions in this game. There were moments where he had cause to be frustrated, even with himself. What a response from that young man, leading 2 big drives late in this game to bring his team back for the win.
No, absolutely. Him and Carson Maynard, these guys are responsible for this victory. Mike, I keep saying it to you. There were parts in this game that we thought it was absolutely over, and the Cardinals battled all the way back to get this victory by 1 point. What a game. What a game this has been. And I tell you what, for Lovejoy, they did everything to win this game. They just came up against an opponent that just had the heart of a lion, and that was the Cardinals.
Trevor Ham's final stat line, 30 for 48, 336 yards, 3 touchdowns, and those 3 interceptions. The 3 touchdowns matter an awful lot more than the 3 interceptions. The touchdown pass to Carson Maynard on 4th down and 3 from the 4-yard line to make this a 1-score game early on in the 4th. And then the 25-yard touchdown pass to Maynard in the final minute of this football game. And the 2-point conversion pass, oh, by the way, to Gunnar Wilson to give them the lead. What a fourth quarter from this young man.
Yeah, and it really was. I mean, when we went to halftime and we talked about the stats and where they were, this was a team that should have been winning this game based off of the stat line. It was just the turnovers that kept them out of it, and I think they corrected it, but then they turned the ball over again. They just continue to try and rectify those mistakes. They did that, and they did it at the most important time in the game. Gunnar Wilson's catch was clutch, and probably one of the biggest catches in 5A this year.
You saw a moment ago Seth Stinton, the athletic director from Melissa, congratulating Trevor Ham, the junior quarterback, on what he accomplished tonight. You see number 6 there right in the middle of your frame, hugging on Jacob Cusano. Those two tried to hook up earlier in the football game, and that was the interception that you thought may have ended it. But then the 4th down stop from the Melissa defense to give their offense one more chance, and they pay it off. What a sequence that was here in the 4th, and here's the touchdown pass. Ham rolling to his left as he was on the 4th down connection as well, dropping it in the bucket for the touchdown to Maynard, their 3rd connection of the day, and a 36-35 win for the Melissa Cardinals.
And Maynard just using all of his frame, 6'4", 180 pounds. Just, I mean, right there, he's literally he turned all the way around on this throw to catch that ball. This is, man, both of these teams played lights out. Can't say enough about them. They battled back and forth, but look, the Cardinals down by double digits did not look at times like they had any life. And it seemed as though that the Leopards had took it to them, took their heart out. They didn't have anything, but man, they just kept battling back. This is one of these games where, look, there has to be a winner, there has to be a loser, and it just sucks that way sometimes, man.
So the district championship goes to the Melissa Cardinals. They finished 7-0 in District 7-5A Division II, and they will go into the playoffs as the number 1 seed. And we alluded to it earlier. That sets up a juicy rematch of last year's 5A Division II Region 2 final between Lovejoy and South Oak Cliff. Of course, both teams have to win in the first round. I think if you look at the bracket, you'd say that's likely. That's going to be a second-round matchup this year in the playoffs.
Yeah, you talk about good on good, and that's exactly what that's going to be, good on good. Lovejoy Leopards are outstanding. These guys have athletes all across the board. Parker Livingstone is, man, he's probably one of the most amazing wide receivers that I've seen so far. We came in talking about Kyle Parker. He did not disappoint. Let me make sure that I say that.
At all,
did not disappoint. But Parker Livingstone, he came up big so many times with all of the attention being played to Kyle Parker. This is just, I tell you what, like I said, there had to be a winner and there had to be a loser. And that's the part that just sucks about a game like this, because both of these teams battled back. But for Melissa to just face the adversity that they had, that just shows how resilient this team is. They had a lot of turnovers. They overcame it all. That is a complete team over there, and I'm telling you, I would not want to be in front of the Melissa Cardinals.
Look at Matt Nally circling his team up after what they just accomplished. Coming back on the road from 2 scores down to win a district championship by 1 point with a 2-point conversion in the final minute of the game. You think he's not fired up right now?
I'm fired up for him.
Man, I wish we had a microphone in that huddle right now. How cool is that?
No, that is a guy that knows that his team battled back. They listened to him. They tried to make those halftime adjustments. I don't know if they worked, but this is the play of the game for me right there. That is big time. Gunnar Wilson, he made a couple of plays in this game, but none as big as that one right there in the corner of the end zone. He's also a junior, Mike. Mm-hmm. This is a young Melissa Cardinals team. They have a bunch of young guys in all the right places, and they're going to be someone that you have to deal with. And just think, these guys were just in 4A. And so I don't know how much longer they're going to be in 5A, but I wouldn't want to deal with them in 4A or any level, but that is a quality win. And Gunnar Wilson, man, that was a tremendous catch in the corner of the end zone.
And it's Gunnar Wilson that has the honor to break him down after he caught the 2-point conversion for the win for the Melissa Cardinals in their very first year as a 5A program. They win district in 7-5A Division II, topping Lovejoy on the road 36-35. It was a tremendous football game, Heckma Harrison. Take you back through the back and forth, the ebbs and flows of this game. Kyle Parker with the 1-yard touchdown run to open the scoring for Lovejoy just 1 minute and 2 seconds into this game after the tremendous kickoff return from Parker Livingstone. And at least in that moment, Heckma, I'm thinking, all right, here we go, 70-63, here it comes. Didn't end up being that pointsy, but still 71 combined points between the two tonight. Melissa answered back. Trevor Ham for the first time today, hitting Carson Maynard about 4 minutes later, and it was 7-7. Braden Hagel to Parker Livingstone for the first touchdown pass of the day for Hagel, made it 14-7 right before the end of the first quarter. Nate Adejokin answered back for Melissa, made it a 1-score game. That was where we saw the slip on the PAT from Melissa's kicker, Aiden Pintor, to keep it a 1-point game. And then what still may be, after everything we've seen today, the wildest play of this football game, as the run from Maynard, he had the ball stripped out by Jason Cave, 1, 2, 3 bounces, and here comes Kyle Parker scooping it up on the run and taking it for the touchdown, and Lovejoy led 21-13 at the break. They'd go up 28-13 early on in the third quarter. They'd get a stop of Melissa, then go in and score. Hagel to Parker Livingstone for the second time tonight, and they had a 2-score lead then. They had a 2-score lead to start the fourth after Jacob Fields and Jackson Lavender exchanged touchdown runs. But in the fourth quarter, Melissa with the comeback. Ham to Carson Maynard on 2 occasions, their second and third hookups for touchdowns on the day, and the 2-point conversion with 52 seconds left from Ham to Gunnar Wilson. And Melissa, with this play right here, wins 7-5A Division II. Heckma Harrison, it's been a long, wild night. Your final thoughts of maybe the game of the year on our air? It's this or Brock Whitesboro. We've had a couple really, really good football games. It's probably one of those two that's the most entertaining game we've seen this season.
Mike Leslie, wherever you go next, take me with you, okay? That's all I ask. I don't care. I mean, just take me with you. All right? This is too much. I mean, every week there is something exciting to see, but this was just gutsy, and this is what Texas high school football is all about. And you see these two teams battling like this, and I cannot say enough about the talent level that we saw out here, especially from Lovejoy. We knew that they had the receiving core to boot and that there were going to be a ton of points scored tonight. They finally got into the groove of things here in the second half, but, man, the defenses, when they had to show up, and it was the Cardinals defense that did a good job right there in the fourth quarter of forcing that 4-and-out You think about their stance on the fourth down,
Yes, sir.
where the referee pointed that it was a first down, and they had to come out and measure it, and it's by length,
4 inches maybe?
Man, maybe by a link of a chain that they're able to get that turnover on down, and that's all they needed to win this ball game. I mean, hands down, this is one of the best.
An unbelievable football game. And if you think we weren't spoiled enough, hey, next week we get to start the playoffs.
Let's do it.
The UIL state playoffs
do it.
begin in 1 week's time. We will be there with you for that here on Friday Night Football. Of course, games and teams and broadcast times all still to be determined. That process begins tomorrow morning, and we'll try and figure that out for y'all as quickly as we can. Of course, stick it close to our social media channels on WFAA, WFAA Sports, my account as well. We'll have those updates for you in very short order as we open up the UIL state playoffs 1 week from tomorrow night here on Friday Night Football. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, Director Clay Marshall, photographers Graham Rayner and John Heath, digital coordinators Nick Blackhall and Paul Wedding, graphics coordinators Nick Blackhall and Emil Moralda, our executive producer on hand tonight, Sean Hamilton, in the broadcast booth with us here on Friday Night Football. And for Heckma Harrison, the one and only Antonio Ramiro Romo, Heckma Harrison, alongside I'm Mike Leslie. So long from Leopard Stadium in Lucas. The final score one last time, 36-35 Melissa, as Trevor Ham goes for 336 and 3 touchdowns to lead his team back for a 1-point win and a district championship. All our Friday Night Football broadcasts stream live and are archived in perpetuity on the WFAA YouTube channel and on the WFAA Plus app. This has been a proud presentation of WFAA TV.